Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Georgetown Independent School District Athletic Complex in Birkelbach Field. I am Kelly DeVoll, and I will be your play-by-play announcer tonight. Alongside of me in the booth is Nathanial Funk, Nate Funk, Coach Funk, and he'll be on color tonight. Our camera guy in the booth with us as well, kind of on the camera tonight, Doppler Dave England. And our producer tonight is Jerry Ann Harmon. We appreciate you joining us here tonight. This game tonight pits the Georgetown Eagles against the Leander Lions in 5A Division I District 11 matchup. And we are looking forward to a really good game tonight. Nate, thanks for joining us tonight.
I'm glad we finally got to make it happen. I know we've talked about it for a couple years now, and I appreciate the Coach Funk introduction. That does the heart good to hear sometimes. So I'm glad we got to do it. I'm happy to be here, excited.
For those of you that don't know Coach Funk, which I've always known, my son played for him. He was a coach here in Georgetown for
8 years.
8 years. And then went to the private sector. And now he is one of our sponsors for our broadcast, and we really appreciate that. Folks, we are looking forward to a really good game tonight, a fun game tonight between the Eagles and the Lions. It's a beautiful night for football, beautiful Friday night lights. Dave, what's our weather going to be like tonight?
The weather is going to be awesome for football on a Friday night. I actually do not have it pulled up, but I think we're going to be right about in the 80s tonight for kickoff. It's a cool evening, a little bit of cloud cover. There's really little to no wind tonight. So beautiful night for football. If you can make it on out, come on out.
Folks, we are looking forward to this matchup tonight. This matchup is very crucial because the teams come in tonight with identical records. But in district, Georgetown is 1-1. Leander is 0-2. So Leander has some work to do ahead of them to keep that playoff picture in their sights tonight. So for the Leander Lions, they are 3-2 on the season, 0-2 in district. Week 1, they had a win against Pflugerville, 21-7. Week 2, they won in Bastrop, 28-23. Week 3, they played the Del Rio Rams and defeated the Rams 38-32. Week 4, of course, was the bye week for the whole district. And then they followed that up with their first district game against College Station where they took a loss 38-10. And then last week they played Glenn, lost to Glenn 27-14. So they have a little bit of a struggle if they're going to keep that playoff picture in sight because this district this year is a tough district.
It is indeed, and I know I've been there, top to bottom. It is a very good district, and you want to make sure that you don't get too far behind, win the games that this is one of those could go either way type games, but both teams know the importance if they're going to punch their ticket. So I know the coaches are confident, but it's definitely maybe not a must-win, but it's one you want to take advantage of.
So let me ask you this, Nate. With the coaching experience that you have and the coaching experience here in Georgetown, when you're getting the kids ready for a game like this, next week's a big game because you got Eastview and Georgetown to get that rivalry back together. I know the kids are looking forward to that. How do you go about keeping these kids focused tonight to deal with a Leander team that could very well come in here and beat you if you're not playing your game?
1-0. We one play at a time, one game at a time. Handle your business this week, and then as soon as this one's over, you can move on to next week. But we've been through this enough. I know these coaches know that one game could trip you up. It actually happened to us against Leander a handful of years ago. Went to their place and they got after us pretty good. So there's motivation. 1-0. Handle your business.
So there is some history between these two teams. There was a few years where they didn't play each other, but prior to that, this was a pretty good rivalry between these two schools. And then on and off, been in and out of the same district together. But Leander is always one of those teams. They struggled for a few years. Last year they turned it around just a little bit. This year they start off 3-0. So Leander has always been one of those teams that if you're not playing to your best, they sneak up and beat you.
Absolutely. A lot of similarities. Like athletes, similar schemes. They're going to do a lot of the same things, but it's one you've got to be on your A game and make sure you don't get caught because they can definitely make a couple plays early and it gets interesting.
Yeah, Leander has done some good things this year on the offensive side. Tonight you're going to see quarterback Cameron Berkman. He's a senior, be wearing number 7 tonight. On the season, he is 78 out of 126 attempts for 1,010 yards. He's averaging 12.9 yards per reception. He has a completion percentage of 62%. He's got 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a QBR rating of 95.7, which is not real shabby. And then he also has some weapons behind him. They have multiple backs that carry the ball. Whenever I was compiling some of their stats, they've got so many kids that have touched the ball. I just decided to go with their team rush game because as a team they have rushed for 100. They have 139 carries for 891 yards and 6 touchdowns on the season. So their pass game is crucial for this Leander team tonight.
They are visiting with the defensive coaches a little bit earlier today, and they feel like that the quarterback, can be a threat, can beat you. You keep him rattled. Don't let him have any easy throws. They said he can be a little bit erratic, but they definitely felt like he was a threat. The running back is solid from what I've seen, and I know number 3, Woolridge, is a playmaker on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and for the Eagles, they come in, like I said earlier, 3-2 on the season, 1-1 in district. Week 1 was a win against Copper's Cove, 38-14, and then we played Vista Ridge, defeated Vista Ridge 41-27. Played against a very, very tough Liberty Hill team. Took the L that week, 49-35, but there's a lot of teams that lose to that Liberty Hill team and that offense that they run. Of course, week 4 was a bye week. Then week 5 of the season, A&M consolidated, another tough loss. Got, much like the Liberty Hill game, got behind early, but it was able to fight back and in the fourth quarter be in the ball game, but lost that game 48-34. And then week 6 was against Hendrickson last week, and it was 70-28 win.
That's a get-right game.
Right.
Sometimes you stay close and come back a little bit on those teams that are really, really good, and then you come out a little more confident. It's happened lots before, and it's a good little confidence booster to come out and have a game like they did last week for sure. And it looks like Boris, starting to settle in, get a little more comfortable. So hopefully they keep it rolling.
Is there a threat with these kids getting a little too overconfident by hanging 70 on Hendrickson last week and coming in a little cocky, a little overconfident?
Always a little bit, but those kinds of games are where you can coach a little bit harder. Nitpick the film a little bit more, and you want to love them up on some of those tougher losses, and then you can get in them a little bit more coming off a week like that. So, and then obviously going into next week, you want to take all the momentum you can get, but not look ahead.
So scoring-wise, Glenn this season on the season they've scored 111 points. They've had 127 points scored against them. Georgetown has scored 218 points and has given up 166 points. So both of these defenses have the capacity. A lot of those points for Georgetown that were scored against them came against Liberty Hill and A&M Consolidated, 2 really, really solid teams. The defense started off the season really strong, good tackling, and then we saw some not so good tackling. Some issues on defense against against Liberty Hill and A&M Consolidated, but it seems like they got that worked out because last week against Hendrickson, there were a few missed tackles here and there, but there were a lot of helmets around the ball on those missed tackles.
Which is step one, get hats to the ball, and I know it's kind of become one of those buzz terms you're hearing right now, populate the football, which, it just means getting hats to the ball. And I know in visiting with Coach Nicky today, he feels like they are in position. Now it's just going out and making those plays, getting guys on the ground, getting hands on the balls, and turning things over a little bit more.
So for the Georgetown offense, Noah Boris has taken over since Tucker Griffin was injured. Hopefully Tucker will be back in a week or two, be back on the field. But Noah Boris, the junior quarterback for the Eagles, he's 50 out of 72 attempts with a 69% completion rate, 651 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, has a QBR of 113.8. And anytime you have a high school quarterback with a QBR of 113.8, you're in pretty good hands.
Yes, and I know in visiting with the coaches, they didn't feel like they were taking much of a step back going from Tucker to Boris, and they were just talking about what kind of athlete that he is, and just one of those guys that just has it, kind of a natural athlete, and seeing his starts over the last couple weeks, you can tell he's getting more comfortable,
right.
And they feel like they're in good hands no matter who the guy is.
Well, and it seems like in the past, especially last week, it seemed like Coach Beatty took some more shots down the field than he had taken previous. Like, everybody's trying to get used to Noah being back there, including Noah being back there.
They said he can sling it.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that because the first time we heard about his arm and how far he could throw the football, how strong of an arm he has, was from Tucker. Tucker told us about it in one of the coaches' shows. So the offense has been in good hands. And then, of course, you can't talk about this Georgetown offense without talking about number 22, Andrew Petter, the junior running back, who is turning some heads in Central Texas, one of the top rushers in Central Texas. He has 97 carries this year, 806 yards, 17 touchdowns on the ground, with an 8.3 yard per carry average, and he's averaging 161 games rushing. Not only has he done that rushing, he's had 13 receptions for 176 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing, and 1 70-yard touchdown pass.
Now you're setting up my wheelhouse because I know the running backs, that hits close to home for me, obviously coaching that position for 8 years, and we had some really, really good ones over that time period. And from what I gather, what I hear, he's as good as any of them, and I've had the pleasure of coaching Andrew even back as like a 7th grade or a 7-year-old in basketball camps and football camps. And even then, you could tell he was just different, and you kind of hear the stories about him being the next great one. And, boy, the expectations were high early, and he is definitely not let you down, that's for sure.
So several years ago, I think around 2015, 2016, you had a pretty decent running back at your bidding running up and down this field.
Dakota Cahill
Yep.
was could have probably played 18 positions on the football field and been all district at those, but was a special running back, running, catching, blocking. Was maybe as good a blocker as anybody we've had at that position. So he could do a little bit of everything, and great kid on top of it.
Our statistician, who's not here with us tonight because he had some wisdom teeth extracted, and we want Mr. Tuma to know that he is in our thoughts and prayers, and we miss him having him up here tonight. But whenever Holden was putting stats together, and he sent me a bunch of stats today, he said Noah Boris's QBR is higher than any NFL QBR as we stand right now. So,
if he can sling it like they say, I'm looking forward to a Pat Mahomes type performance possibly.
But as well as anybody, it all starts up front. It starts with the beef eaters. I call them the buffet killers. The guys that can show up at a buffet and just wear that buffet completely out. The eaters, the red meat, eat some nails. When you're looking at that front 5, you've got Austin Nelson, you've got Jordan Erat, you've got Broden Elliott, Ian Sanders, and Logan Gegelman doing a pretty good job up front.
Absolutely, and they are bigger. They probably pass the eyeball test more so than some of the lines we've had in the past. And, I know when the lightest guy up there is 230, you're going to be in good hands, and I know they're moving folks around. So it's not just, Andrew Petter gets the headlines, but none of those holes don't exist without the offensive line.
Well, folks, we are at the beautiful GISD Athletic Complex in Birkelbach Field. We are here in the JCT Memorial Broadcast booth brought to you by JMTs. We appreciate their sponsorships and all the other sponsors that you're going to see through the night. And we will ask that if any of our sponsors have a need that they can meet for you, please visit our sponsors, visit their websites, go to their stores, give them a call. Let them know you thank them for helping us keep these broadcasts free to you, because without them, we could not do this, and they make this happen for us, because this takes a lot of time, takes a lot of money, takes a lot. And they have graciously donated their time, as has Nate Funk with Edward Jones. And you'll see his spots a little bit later in the game. He's our third quarter sponsor, so we're thankful for that. But if you would, please just let our sponsors know you appreciate what they've done. We are going to take a quick break, folks. Stick with us. We'll be back here on the pregame show at Georgetown ISD Athletic Complex in just a few minutes. The JCT broadcast booth is sponsored by JMTs in Round Rock. JMTs provides customized apparel and promotional items to small businesses, schools, and nonprofit organizations. Our services include screen printing, embroidery, and promotional items. Our game-changing direct-to-film printing allows JMTs to print full-color graphics on your garments. JMTs has the experience and confidence to take on any order. Visit our website at jmts.com or call us at 512-388-5555. Well, folks, we are back here at the GISD Athletic Complex in Birkelbach Field in the JCT Memorial Broadcast booth, brought to you by JMTs. JMTs provides custom apparel and promotional items to small businesses, schools, and not-for-profit businesses. JMTs has the experience and confidence to take on any order. Visit us at jmts.com. So we're going to give you the starting lineups for tonight's game. On offense for the Leander Lions, at left tackle is number 61, Jorge Ruiz Williams. He's a junior. At left guard, number 72, Cade Pop. He's a senior. The center is number 50, sophomore Ryan Casimir. The right guard is number 68, senior Noah Rodriguez. The right tackle is number 52, Brian Romero. He's a senior. Wide receivers are number 22, Max Kreitz, a senior, and wide receiver number 14, Aiden Parker, a junior. The inside receivers are number 2, Aiden Salazar, a senior, number 10, senior Kyle Lavin. The running back is Damian Stout. He's number 28, and he's a junior. The halfback is number 15, Peyton Gordon. He is a senior as well. And the quarterback tonight, we talked about a little bit earlier, is number 7, Cameron Berkman, a senior. On defense for the Lions, the defensive end, number 1, Joe Vasquez, a senior. The nose tackle is number 77, Gavin Rodriguez. He is a junior. Defensive end, number 53, Daniel Cedillo, a senior. And the outside linebacker is number 11, Ethan Rhett, a junior. The other linebackers are 0. I almost said number 0, but 0 is not a number. 0, Bert Holyfield, a senior. The other linebackers are number 40, Michael Segovia, a junior. Number 4, senior Anthony Clare. And the other outside linebackers, number 5, Gavin Brzezinski, a senior. The cornerbacks are Matthew Burris, number 12, a senior, and cornerback number 13, Jaden Arnold. He is also a senior. And then sophomore Zane Woolridge, number 3, is the free safety for the Lions. On special teams for the Lions tonight, the kicker and punter is Ivan Rodriguez. He's wearing number 32, and he is a junior. And then the holder on extra points and the deep snapper on punts is Gavin Brzezinski, number 5. And the snapper for extra points and field goals is Brian Romero, number 52. For your Eagles tonight, on offense, number 78, Austin Nelson is the offensive tackle at the right side. Jordan Erad is the right guard. He's number 76, and he is a junior. The center is number 65, Broden Elliott, and he is a senior. Number 72, Ian Sanders is the junior left guard, and Logan Gegelman, number 77, is the senior left tackle. Number 17, Jacob Weisheimer, is the junior tight end. Drayden Dickman, number 6, is one of the outside receivers that you'll see tonight. We'll call his name a lot. The other guy that we'll be calling his name a lot is number 2, Marquise Dominguez. He's a junior, and the other wide receiver on that side. Weston Bruce is a slot receiver. He's number 11. The other slot receiver is number 26, Cody Holubeck. Andrew Petter is the running back, and folks, you're going to want to watch number 22 tonight. He's a junior, so we get him back again next year. And at quarterback for your Eagles, in place of the injured Tucker Griffin, is number 12, Noah Boris. He's a junior. On defense for the Eagles tonight, Brandon Stovall, number 35, is the defensive end. He's a senior. Number 5, Daniel Obina is the senior nose tackle. Number 99, Michael Valenta is the junior defensive end or defensive tackle. Number 39, Tyler Duncan is the bandit. He's a senior. The Mike linebackers, number 13, Landry Leggett. The whip linebackers, number 8, Jacob Faltasek. And the razor is number 10, Ian Lewis. He's a senior. The safeties are Gabriel DeNova, number 9, a senior. And number 41, Thomas Scholes. He, too, is a senior. The cornerbacks are number 19, Colin Casey. He's a senior. And number 3, Leo Diaz, also a senior, is the other corner. And then on special teams tonight for the Eagles, you'll see Aaron Guzman, number 30, the junior kicker and punter. And the deep snapper for points after is defensive lineman Michael Valenta. The holder on extra points and field goals is number 12, Noah Boris, the junior quarterback. And the long snapper on punts is Thomas Scholes, number 41. And then, of course, the kick returner is number 6, Drayden Dickman. And you'll probably see number 22, Andrew Petter, back there some as well. And that's the starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles. Our coaches for the Georgetown Eagles, head coach Chuck Griffin is, how long has he been the head coach now? 4 years? 4th year? 4th, 5th year?
Third, fourth?
Fourth, yeah, 4th. Tim Nickey is the first-year defensive coordinator for the Eagles. Came back this year. It's good to have Coach Nickey back. Ricky Beatty is in his 7th season as the offensive coordinator, and Nick Zajac is the offensive line coach. Gerald Flores is the assistant head coach and the run game coordinator. Robert Halm is the linebackers coach. Kyle Gandy is the wide receivers coach, and Kyle Gandy has been here since dirt was white.
Yeah, I think so, yes. Long time.
Long time. Kyle Gandy, it's always good to see Coach Gandy here. David Durrell is the cornerbacks coach. The special teams coach, pass game coordinator coach, and safeties coach is Preston Taylor. Travis Kinslow is the defensive line coach. Colin Truelove is the running backs coach. And the wide receivers coach is Michael Cockrell. Brad Bresnahan is the linebackers coach. And that's your Georgetown Eagles team tonight that you will see on this field. And we're excited to watch this game get going here pretty quick. What are you looking for?
It just to see a great game. A little bit different perspective being up here as opposed to on the sideline. But I know this is one of those games that is somewhat, like I said, we touched on earlier, must win by both teams. So I know the coaches are excited. They feel like they've got a good game plan, and was always visiting. You have your Thursday script meeting, and was texting with Coach Flores about it when they were done, and he said they may take some shots early. So
I'm excited to see Noah Boris. Tucker said he's got a big arm, and we got to see some glimpse of that last week, and he had a air ball out to Drayden Dickman, and I've been looking forward to that because Dickman's got the speed with a big arm for Noah Boris, and it reminds me of the good old days with Cooper Bell and Leggett hooking up on at least one big bomb every week.
That's just reps. Some of that will come with those guys spending more time in practice, throwing those routes and knowing where your guy's going to be, and they'll get there.
So Kelly, this morning on Fox 7, I was happened to be watching, saw Snoop, and he had this game as one of the games to watch this week in Central Texas, and I think it has to do with both teams have a pretty close record.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty possibly even matched, and I think this is going to be a good test for Georgetown to see where we really stand. You got A&M Consol, you got College Station. That's going to be tough. But Leander, let's see how we do. And last week with the Hawks, I think we showed out. And this week it would be really nice if we, see everything come together. Less penalties than last week. And I think we have more success.
Well, folks, we are about 20 minutes from kickoff, and I got the opportunity to visit with Coach Griffin a little bit earlier. Here's that interview with Coach Griffin and what he had to say about last week's game and then the game tonight against the Leander Lions. We welcome to the SHN Sports Countdown to Kickoff head coach Chuck Griffin. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks, Kelly. Glad to be here.
Coach, it's a little bit different coming off a big win versus the loss last week, but, boy, your guys really played well. You got to be pleased with their performance.
Yeah, those games are fun. And when you can, you win big and get a lot of kids in the game that don't have an opportunity to play very often, those games are really fun to coach. And to see those guys get out and execute too, that's always awesome to see.
Well, and we've already had the circumstance where it's the next man up at the quarterback position, and had that for a little bit of one game at the linebacker position. Those snaps that those guys are getting in the second half, those are really crucial.
Yeah, they are. They're really important. Just those guys being able to come in and gain that experience and see what it's like is really important. So it's good to see that. Anytime we can do that.
You got to talk about Noah Boris and his performance in this game, because he really ran that offense well. Had just about a perfect quarterback rating this week. Talk about Noah's performance and how that really shook out for you guys.
Noah's doing a great job, which is what we expected him to do. He's done a really good job getting in there and just running the offense and doing what we asked him to do. Had some good throws. He's got some good guys on the outside to help out, and to make things look good. And so he's performed really well, which is exactly what we want him to do.
Well, it seems now that pretty much any training wheels that may have been on are off, and y'all are running your normal offense with Noah out there until Tucker can get back.
Yeah, we are. There's some things we kind of back off on, a few things, but Noah's getting better and better, and learning those things. And training wheels is probably a pretty good analogy. He's getting some of those off and just getting better and better.
And then, of course, you got Andrew Petter, just unbelievable as a running back. He played a half and then the first series in the second half, pulled him out. And first talk about Andrew's performance and just the continuity of having him in that ball game.
I mean, he just played really well. Andrew's a good player, and played essentially a half and had 180 yards rushing, and few 20 or 30 yards catching, and then had a couple of big kickoff returns too. Scored 4 touchdowns. I mean, just kind of I think he's got 19 touchdowns on the year, so averaging just under 4 a game. And averaging around 200 all-purpose yards a game as well. So, man, he's playing really good, and we're fortunate to have him. And then you look at Marquise and Drayton on the outside, and they're continuing to be a threat. Both had 2 touchdowns apiece the other night, and Drayton with another 100-yard performance. So those guys are just continuing to get better and better.
On the defensive side of the ball, a lot better this week with the tackling. And even if there were missed tackles, there were so many silver helmets around the football. The guys really pursued well. Talk about the improvements on defense from the A&M consolidated game to this game.
I think a lot of it's, who you're playing, that helps. But, also our guys we challenged them this week to not play to the level of our competition up or down, right? You play to the best of your ability every time you're playing. You practice to the best of your ability every time you're playing, and then those wins will take care of themselves if we can do that. So that's the competitive maturity we've been talking about, and those guys really responded well to that last week. Part of our defensive mindset is to be 9-5-90, not 9 hats within 5 yards of the ball 90% of the time, and they were able to do that really well the other night. And when those things happen, good things happen. So really proud of our linebacker core, stepped up really good. Michael Valenta and Daniel Bina played really well up front. And Landry and Ian and Jacob all played really well as well.
Sometimes we don't talk a lot about some of the guys up front, but whenever you've got those big boys up front tying up blockers, it really frees up your linebackers to make some plays in there.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, for sure. When those guys can draw a double team, it allows our linebackers to run and play around a little bit more. So it's good.
Back to the offensive side of the ball, when Andrew comes out of the game, 3 different running backs run the ball, and they all ran the ball effectively. I think they wound up with, almost 160 yards between those guys.
Yeah.
And
all of them got a touchdown. One of those got called back, but it's pretty cool to see all 4 of your running backs score a touchdown. That's pretty cool to see. So that was fun to get those guys in there. One of them's a senior who just does everything right all the time, and glad to see him. That we got a kid that's brand new that came out for football as a senior, hasn't played, just one of a track kid and liked being around our coaches and came out and played football. And to see him be able to get in the game and score touchdowns is really awesome to see. So
that's exciting when those kids get to play because they put in the work and they got some quality snaps. It wasn't the last 2 minutes of the game.
For sure.
The field is a nice location, nice stadium, but it's always good to get back home to the GISD Athletic Complex. We got Leander coming in. What are you looking for out of Leander this week?
They're a much improved Leander team, 3-2, same record we have. And they're much improved from where they've been the last few years. Running the football well, doing a good job up front. They got a little RPO game that's pretty dangerous. And then defensively, they've kind of gone to a 3-4 scheme because they're really good at linebacker and safety. And so those kind of their best, 4 or 5 players, 6 players. And they're doing a good job of being in that, defense to just continue to make plays. And they made it pretty tough on College Station a couple of weeks ago, and made it tough on Glenn the other night. So they're a good football team, and we're going to have to be ready to play well.
So what's going to be the emphasis for on the offensive side of the ball? Is it just keep doing what you're doing and fine-tuning, getting a little better?
The ball. That's the mindset, really, that in between playing A&M Consolidated, College Station, 2 top 10 teams, the idea is how much can you improve during that 1 month span, and like I said, the idea is for you to play to the best of your ability, to practice, to prepare to the best of your ability all the time. If we can do that, then we can arrive at the level that we want to be at when we're playing those games later in the season. So that's still the mantra this week. Still the mindset this week is how well can you prepare? How well can you practice? Can you practice to the best of your ability? So being able to see them do that and do those kind of things and have some good days of practice and get ready to play a good game this week and just get out there and get ready to, to beat Leander by playing really good football and really sound football. So I don't know that there's much emphasis on anything other than doing your job, doing what you're supposed to do.
Leander hasn't been a traditional power, but they have shown against College Station, they've shown against Glenn. Anybody in this district, if they're playing well, can step up and beat you.
Sure.
And it's all the goals are still there. Despite the loss to A&M Consolidated, I don't know that anybody comes through this district unscathed this year.
Yeah, that's a great possibility. And we've already talked about that too. So the only thing we can control is ourselves and controlling this week. So the idea is to go out and get a big win this week and, to play to the best of our ability offensively and defensively, to be really sound special teams wise and, to get out there and put on a good performance and win a big game.
So who were your standout players last week?
Really those guys we mentioned offensively, up front, really all 5 offensive linemen blocked really well. They all scored really high.
Well, they did.
They did a good job. Our backs were the unit of the week because all 4 of them got to cross into the end zone, which is good to see. Noah played well. Our receivers played well. Weston Bruce had a couple of catches as well on the night. So our receiving corps did well. So really, pretty much everybody got some kind of award, on offensive night when you put up 10 touchdowns. So they all played really well. Defensively, Michael Valenta was our defensive player of the game. Daniel Bina played good inside. We had Amarian Lucas, who doesn't get as much playing time, had to step up because of an injury and play defensive end and did well. I already mentioned our linebackers, and then Thomas and played a good game. A couple of safeties and Garrett Lloyd, Gabe DeNova. And then, Colin Casey made some plays. Leo Diaz made several plays. So it's just really good overall effort by our team.
Yeah, it was fun watching Leo play and have such a good game. He made a couple of mistakes, but he sure made up for it.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. Appreciate all the effort and energy that goes into your preparations and for joining us for our countdown to kickoff. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Kelly. Glad to be here, man.
Folks, that's head coach Chuck Griffin, your head coach of your Georgetown Eagles. Countdown to kickoff continues right after this. We always appreciate the time that Coach Griffin takes to visit with us. And, Nate, while he was with that interview, he was talking about how much fun those 70-point games are for the offensive coordinators.
Yeah, that makes coming in the next morning nice and easy. When everybody gets to contribute, get to watch the highlights over again. Everybody makes plays, and those are the easy next mornings to come in and watch film and have a little fun.
Well, and speaking of fixing things, I've got to fix a name pronunciation. I know better, but number 76 is Jordan Arrett, and I mispronounced it. And Nate's got people pointing at him from the stands and loving on him. The GOAT, one person said in the
ironically, this is, homecoming is perfect timing. I know we
Right.
talked about doing this, and I'm glad it worked out to see some familiar faces and stepped out during the break and ran into 3 or 4 people in the hall too. So always good to be back.
It is homecoming, so that's an appropriate night
It
for
is.
your first broadcast
timing.
up here,
Perfect
folks.
timing.
We got Nate Funk up here in the booth with us tonight on color. I'll be doing play-by-play, so I'm going to apologize right off the bat. I am no Wally Harmon. Wally is actually in Las Vegas playing in a law enforcement softball tournament there, so we wish him the best. We know he's listening tonight. He's got his notepad out telling us how bad we're doing. So I'll get ready to listen to that.
I'm going to apologize because I'm no Kelly DeVoll on the broadcast. So,
well, we're going to have a fun time tonight. We're going to be talking football. We do want to give a shout-out. A lot of the graphics that you're going to see tonight, some of the graphics that you saw with the starting lineups, the Bearded Wonder allows us to use his photography work, and he does such a fantastic job in helping us highlight these kids and the work that he does. So we thank the Bearded Wonder for that, and we thank all the sponsors. The football boosters sponsor us as well, so we're excited and grateful for that. And all the help that we get to bring these ball games to fruition for you folks there. We appreciate everybody listening in on YouTube. I'm pretty sure my parents are listening. I think Jerry Ann's got some family listening, excluding Wally. But
shout out my mom and dad. I've got family listening.
Oh, so you did send them the link?
I did.
Okay.
For better or for worse. I sent it to them to.
So we're excited to be here tonight. We are just about 7.5 minutes away from kickoff in tonight's game. So, Nate, I did want you to talk about one thing. We touched on it just a little bit, but it's homecoming week. You came off a 70-point offensive output. The defense played really well. Focus. You got 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. And when I had 16, 17, 18-year-old kids at home, keeping them focused at home was almost impossible. How do you keep these kids focused?
Yes, and coaches are poor decision makers where they stake their livelihood on teenagers anyway.
Yeah.
So you got to reevaluate your life choices from there. But I think just, winning this game, the winner is going to feel really, really good about the position they put themselves in to make the playoffs. Loser, not so much. So I think just, conveying that sense of urgency. If you want to make the playoffs, this is a game you need to win. And I think if you've got a mature team with good leadership, that will settle in, and they will kind of convey the message for you.
Folks, we are in the JCT Memorial Broadcast booth here at GISD Athletic Complex in Birkelbach Field. The JCT Memorial Broadcast booth brought to you by JMTs. JMTs provides custom apparel and promotional items to small business, schools, and nonprofits. JMTs has the experience and confidence to take on any order. Visit us at jmts.com. And around the district tonight, the other games that are going to be taking place in District 11, 5A Division I, Eastview is at Glenn. Hendrickson is at A&M Consolidated tonight, and Cedar Park is at College Station. We will update you on those scores periodically. The district standings right now, College Station, Glenn, and A&M Consolidated are all at 2-0. Cedar Park and Georgetown tied at 1-1. And then Leander, Hendrickson, and Eastview are all 0-2 in district. So this is a huge, huge game for this Leander team tonight, and they know it.
Yes, and like I said, winner is going to put themselves in a really, really good position. Loser, you got your back up against the wall, and you got to win one that you're not expected to.
With this district, I will be really surprised if a team comes out unscathed. It's going to be tough. A&M Consolidated, really good ball club. College Station, really good ball club. Cedar Park has struggled some this year, but they are notoriously a good team.
Right. They're not going to be down long.
Right. In this district, in this 8-team district, we see 6 teams that were in the playoffs last year. 5 of those 6 went 2 rounds deep. Eagles wearing the new blue helmets tonight. Blue jerseys with white numerals outlined in black. White pants, solid white pants that say Eagles down the leg, and black face mask on the helmets. That is a good-looking uniform.
The script helmets are new, I got to say.
And I think at some point they may pull out an all-blue uniform. Maybe they save it for the playoffs, but that's going to be a good look.
That's the tradition.
Yeah, that's going to be a good look right there, and we're excited for that. Folks, we are about 3 minutes, 45 seconds from kickoff. We will have the national anthem here shortly. There is so much energy in the stadium tonight. We got a good crowd filling in on the Georgetown side. Not a huge crowd on the Leander side, but they may be coming in just a little bit late. But this is going to be a good ball game tonight. I'm excited.
It will, and this was always one of my favorite parts of the week, kind of the quiet before the storm, if you will, where you're getting ready to have the national anthem, some goosebumps involved, and then you kind of get to see the fruition of all your hard work, get ready to be on display, and a lot of nerves come with that, but a lot of excitement too, and getting a little bit of goosebumps up here, kind of not being on the sideline, wishing I was, but it's good to be here on a Friday night.
When do you miss it the most?
Right
now?
Yes, right now. Every Friday night, I still, going back to your comment about the sponsors, I'm so appreciative that pretty much every Friday night, I'm still locked in here.
Faltasek and number 6, Drayden Dickman.
And Tucker.
And Tucker Griffin's out there with him as well. He didn't have his jersey on, but I should have recognized the hair.
You told me this team had great hair.
They do. They have magnificent hair. For the Leander Lions, number 13, Jaden Arnold. Number 48, Isaac Escobedo. Number 16, Carlos Alamon. And number 68, Noah Rodriguez. And that's your captains for the Leander Lions.
Georgetown won the toss and will receive, Kelly.
All right, so
there you go.
They want the football to start with.
Take a little momentum coming off last week.
Yeah, let's keep that offense rolling.
Jump on them early.
I like it. A lot of times the teams will defer to the second half, but I think Ricky wants that ball tonight. I think
Absolutely,
Coach Beatty
absolutely. He's got the aggressive mindset for sure.
Well, folks, the colors are coming onto the field. We're going to pause while the colors come onto the field, and we will have our national anthem, and we will be back for the kickoff shortly. Stick with us.
And now, please rise and remove your hats for our national anthem, sung by members of the GHS Choir, directed tonight by Associate Choir Director and GHS alum, Stacy Brandenberger.
We welcome you back to the JCT Memorial Broadcast Booth, brought to you by JMTs here at the Georgetown Independent School District Athletic Complex in Birkelbach Field. We are just about ready to tee this ball up and kick this game off. Nate, what's the keys to the game for the Eagles?
I run the football. I think it's first and foremost, carry a little bit of that offensive momentum. And then, like we touched on in pregame a little bit, I know that Coach Nicky feels like they are so close to really having some playmakers on defense. And, I know they don't want to give up the big play. And then rally the football and try to force some turnovers.
Spoken like a true running backs coach. Run the ball.
Run the ball.
Dave, what's Leander going to have to do to win this game tonight?
They're going to have to stop our run. They're going to have to keep us from moving the ball down the field, And I agree with the coach. Georgetown's going to be running it in their face. We've got that big O line, and if they stop the run, okay, we'll pass it.
Yeah,
because we can do that too. So I think Leander is going to have some trick plays because this is everybody. We have a target on our back. Everybody wants to beat Georgetown, so they're going to pull out all the stops, and hopefully it's homecoming night. We've got to make a lot of noise tonight. Our crowd gets involved, but they're going to have to stop. They're going to have to stop our high-powered offense.
Right. Well, for me, on the defensive side of the ball, sure tackling. It's got to be the key.
Yeah.
I think we are probably going to try to put some pressure on the quarterback and get to him and cause him to make some bad decisions, make some bad choices. But we'll see how that goes. And, folks, it is Friday Night Lights in Central Texas high school football, brought to you by SHN Sports, the Georgetown Eagles, and the Leander Lions here live from GISD Athletic Complex. The Lions are teeing it up, and that is number 32. Ivan Rodriguez. Back deep for the Eagles is Drayden Dickman and Andrew Petter awaiting the kick.
First kick, you always want to make sure you stay home just a little bit. It always makes you nervous, nothing to lose potentially on the other sideline, and make sure there's nothing sneaky.
Foot to the ball, and it's a short pooch kick. That'll be caught at the 31-yard line. Marquise Dominguez takes the ball outside and gets out to the 45-yard line of Georgetown, and that's where the Eagle offense will start. First down for the Georgetown Eagles, and it's time to see this offense trot out on the field.
Great field position to start. starting at your 45-yard line. Playbook's open, and we'll see what they come out with.
So you got on the offensive side of the ball, you have Noah Boris, number 12 at quarterback. Andrew Petter is out there as well, and those are the numbers that you're going to be watching for, also number 6 and number 2. But you have a 4-wide set out to the right side of Noah Boris, one receiver to the left. Noah's back in shotgun formation, awaiting the first snap of the ball game tonight. With the clap, he gets the snap, takes a quick drop, and he's looking deep for Marquise Dominguez. Dominguez almost had it, but it was dropped.
So I can say
incomplete.
One thing they're looking at with that kind of formation is they're going to see how the defense lines up, and I guarantee you they've got some other wrinkles off of that. And light box, I could see potentially a little quarterback run game off of that, or some motion. But there's there's some things that can be had, some variations off of that.
Well, and Ricky Beatty likes those shots down the field, and he likes to set them up. Boris takes a snap, and he hands it off to Andrew Petter. Andrew's right up the middle. He's able to get to midfield, and he'll be marked down there. So it's going to be a 3rd and 5 for the Eagles on this drive.
Probably potentially have 2 plays here, so you don't have to get it all.
So it's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Eagles, right about midfield. Boris is back in the backfield. He's got Petter back behind him. Petter moves from his right to just behind Noah. Boris takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and throws it out to number 11,
Go
Weston
score.
Bruce. Bruce is able to break one tackle.
Turf Monster got him.
Turf Monster got him about the 35-yard line, tripped him up.
Good RPO read decision. Lots of grass out there over the slot receiver, and great job by Nick Boris.
And that is a borrow from Morrow first down for the Eagles. For your mortgage needs, remember Matt Morrow, borrow from Morrow, borrowfrommorrow.com. Boris is back in the shotgun formation. Quick pitch forward to Andrew Petter. He starts up the middle. He's able to drag some defenders across the 25 down to the 23-yard line. And that is another borrow from Morrow first down at about the Leander 22-yard line.
They told me they had some unique looks coming up in the script, and starting empty and motioning back in, a little shovel pass look.
It's nice to know people.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. They didn't give me all the keys to the kingdom, but enough.
Right. So a first down for the Eagles. Boris back in shotgun formation. Petter moves back behind him and then moves back to the right side. 2 wide outs on the left. Handoff goes to Petter. He goes off the left side, bounces off of one tackler, stiff arms another tackler. He turns the corner, and Petter is in the end zone for a 22-yard touchdown for the Georgetown Eagles on their first drive.
It ended up being a great call. They brought the blitz from the opposite side, and once Andrew Petter got in space, good luck bringing that young man down one-on-one.
So your Eagles go up 6. That brings on the G-Town Lumber and Supply field extra point attempt. Snaps back, the kick is up, and it is good. So your Eagles with 10:15 left in the first quarter in the Fine Line GC first quarter. The score, your Georgetown Eagles 7, the Leander Lions nothing. They will get the ball. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back for the Eagles' first kickoff of the night with them leading 7-0. We'll be right back. Stay with us, folks, here on SHN Sports.
The first quarter of tonight's game is sponsored by Fine Line General Contractor. At Fine Line General Contractor, we are dedicated to meeting and exceeding our clients' expectations in Central Texas. Fine Line offers a wide variety of construction services, including budgeting, design assistance, scheduling, project management, and more. Fine Line General Contractor, committed to building excellence and relationships. Visit our website at finelinegc.com.
We welcome you back to the GISD Athletic Complex. Georgetown Eagles are up 7-0. And the kick is deep, fielded, well, not fielded, but it bounces into the end zone. So Leander will start at the 25-yard line on their first possession, and that is the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff. Whether you need one shirt or 100, there are no minimum orders amounts on any custom pieces. Call or stop by 1911 North Austin Avenue in Georgetown or visit www.syntexshirt.com. Good start for the Eagles.
Absolutely. Exactly what you want to see right down the field. Didn't have to get off the script too much. Great start, hold serve at home. Now come out, get a stop here, and you feel like you're in really good shape.
Very quickly, a 5-play drive that started at the Eagle 45-yard line results in a touchdown. Quarterback takes the snap from shotgun formation, throws out to number 28 on the right side of the offensive line, and that is Damian Stout. Ball's incomplete, so that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for Cameron Berkman back at quarterback for the Lions.
Coming out and empty. They must have seen something on film that they liked and trying to get matchups in space, but first 2 plays of the game, empty formation.
3 receivers to the left. Receiver goes in motion, fakes the handoff. Berkman goes up the middle. He gets about 5 yards, and then he is met with a bunch of blue hats at about the 31-yard lines where they're marking him down. So that's going to be 3rd and 4 for the Leander Lions.
Good opportunity to get off the field. That's a tough look to stop if you got a quarterback that can run a little bit, motion the back, and let him read linebacker, read an end. It's tough.
Berkman's back in shotgun formation, has a back offset to his left. Fakes the clap snap.
Georgetown showing blitz. Now they're backing off of it.
Has Damian Stout back in the backfield to his left. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right with Stout in the backfield that now moves over to Berkman's right side. Berkman takes a snap, drops back. He's got a receiver open at the 40-yard line. That's number 2, Adam Salazar. So that's a first down for Leander at their own 40-yard line. 9:18 left in the first quarter, and the clock is running here in the Fine Line GC first quarter.
Got a little pressure on the quarterback. That's what we talked about, what Coach Nicky was talking about. He feels like they're there. Somebody needs to step up and make a play. But
3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Berkman back in shotgun formation, takes a snap and hands the ball off to number 28. He goes around the left side. Stout's out to the left side, has a good run. McGain's about 7 or 8 yards and gets almost to midfield. He's down about the 48-yard line of Leander. So it's going to be 2nd and 2 for the Lions.
Lost contain a little bit right there. Safety cleaned it up.
3 receivers move over to the right side, 1 to the left. Stout in the backfield with Berkman. Berkman claps. Snap does not come back. Looks to the sideline to get his call.
He's really hoping we'll jump off sides. That first snap of the ball game, he clapped 3 times trying to get us to.
Hands off to Stout. Stout goes right up the middle at the teeth of this Georgetown defense. Crosses over midfield into Georgetown territory, and that's going to be a first down. He's about the 49-yard line of Georgetown.
First couple drives were always a little bit of a feeling out period. They're showing some different things, formations, motions. We're kind of doing the same on the defensive side, mixing some 3 down and some 4 down.
Stout's looking over for the play call. He's got 2 receivers out to his right, 1 to the left, and Stout in the backfield with him. Berkman takes the snap, swings it out to number 10. Kyle Lavin out to the right side, but there's nothing there.
Really good job there by Gabe DeNova coming up and putting the blocker back into the receiver's lap because, we brought a little pressure there and not a bad call, but DeNova made a heck of a play to turn that back inside.
So with the stop by DeNova, there's no gain on that. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Lions. Now in the backfield with what was that call?
Neutral zone infraction.
Oh.
Those are frustrating penalties. First down and think you make a great play and 3-5.
It's those pre-snap and post-snap penalties that just drive coaches
Absolutely.
crazy. Isaiah Justice in the backfield with Berkman now. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Hands off. Fakes the handoff. Berkman takes off around the right side, and he's got a little bit of room. He's able to get across the 40-yard line down to about the Eagle 37-yard line. Somebody's helmet came off, so he's going to have to come off the field, and that's going to be Tyler Duncan. I should have known with the hair. Some more magnificent hair.
Absolutely. He's got a bright future as maybe the lead singer of an 80s hair metal band if this doesn't work out for him.
7:46 in the clock running here in the first quarter. Fine Line GC first quarter. The Lions in their first possession are doing a good job of moving the ball down there into Georgetown territory down at the 37-yard line.
Yep, and this was, like we talked about pregame, they're good athletes, get them in space, and they're, somebody needs to step up, make a play.
Berkman back in shotgun. He takes the snap, rolls out to his right. He's got some time, finds a receiver over to the right side, right at the sideline, about the 31-yard line of Georgetown. And that is number 14, Aiden Parker, that makes the reception. Gain of about 6 yards on first down.
And that's they're very cognizant of the big play and trying not to give up the big play. You can live with that somewhat early on and you know, just make sure that you're hitting those receivers as they're catching those, make them think about it a little bit later in the game.
Berkman back in shotgun formation.
Back to empty.
Empty set now. The handoff goes to number 28 around the left side. He's looking for some room, but he is wrapped up by Georgetown defenders over there, and a whole slew of defenders. Flag comes in on the play from the side judge over on the Leander side.
Maybe another neutral zone infraction. May have just not timed it. But that was a fantastic job of getting Hatch to the football. Really good job of getting over the top and running with that by the linebackers and stringing it out.
It's on Leander.
Damian Stout, the ball carrier, and he had no place to go. So now signal is a hold. Yep. Coach Griffin's deciding they're going to accept the penalty. It looks like they'll step off 10 yards.
Holding, offense number 10, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
So that's going to bring up a second long, and I guess Coach Griffin decided we'll take the yardage instead of the down.
Yeah, if you can keep them backed up, you know, it increases the likelihood that maybe they punt, not in 4-down territory like it could have been earlier, you know, so.
8th play of the drive here for the Lions. It's second and about 14 yards at the 41-yard line of Georgetown. Good thing that was a back that
You know what, and I got to say that they may get Leander jump off sides here in a minute with showing blitz.
Berkman back in shotgun formation. You got Stout in the backfield with him. He drops back, quick throw out to the left side. He's got a receiver open, but he's unable to bring the ball down. That was Langston Brady, number 8, out on the left side. Throw was a little bit high, but the defender was there, made a good stop, and now it's 3rd and long.
Good pressure there. Quarterback sitting in there. He's got guys in his face, and just, you know, pressure caused an errant throw.
6 minutes, 11 seconds left in the Fine Line GC first quarter here. Leander's first drive of the night. They're trailing 7-0. The Eagles able to score on their first drive. Berkman looking to the sideline to get the signals. It's going to be interesting. What was that, Dave?
He's going to have to hurry it up.
Yep.
7-6 on the play clock. Berkman takes the snap. He's looking over to his right, then back to the middle. He's got a wide receiver the running back wide open over the middle. That's number 28. We're going to be calling his name a lot tonight. Stout is able to make the reception for a gain of about 21 yards.
Yeah, stayed aggressive, brought a blitz, and unfortunately, against an empty formation, if you don't get there, it leaves it open in the middle of the field. And good job by the quarterback staying in there and delivering a completed pass.
So Leander is in business. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line of Georgetown. 5:45 left in the Fine Line GC first quarter. Berkman steps back into shotgun formation, has Stout to his right. 2 receivers out wide to his right, 2 out to the left. Georgetown brings a little bit of pressure, and they're able to get close, but the ball's up in the air. Receiver trips and falls. There's no flag on the play, and there shouldn't have been a flag on the play.
Right. I'm so glad they didn't throw it. A lot of times you see that, and guys got tangled up, receiver falling down. Definitely a good no call.
So incomplete pass there on first down. 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line. Leander in the red zone now for the first time on their first drive tonight. A 10-play drive now that has eaten up a pretty good chunk of this clock. It's 5:29 left in the first quarter.
And I'll say this, you know, Coach Nicky's bringing some different looks and some different pressures, and obviously he's a little bit more aggressive than Coach Pat was. And
Berkman takes a snap, rolls out to his left. He's got a receiver out about 5 yards down the field. He's able to make the catch and gain another couple of yards before he's pushed out of bounds. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down for Leander, and that was Joseph Marrow on the reception. 3rd and about 2 at about the 12-yard line for Leander on this drive. So this drive continues. Berkman doing a good job of keeping this offense moving, finding the open receivers. He steps back in shotgun formation with 3 receivers out wide to his right. Hands the ball off to Stout, and he goes right at the teeth of this defense, and he's able to get to about the 10-yard line, and it looks like he's going to be marked close enough for 1st and goal.
Giving it to him.
So that's a first down for the Lions at the Eagles' 10-yard line. 5 minutes, 10 seconds left in the Fine Line GC first quarter.
Things get a little compressed down here, so it's, a lot of times you think red zone, we're going to be in really good shape, but you run out of space and it gets a little compressed, and it's not always easy as you think it should be.
4:50 left in the first quarter. Bergman steps back into shotgun formation. There's a whistle from the side judge and a timeout by Leander. So here in the Fine Line GC first quarter, there's 4:47 left. The Eagles lead 7-0, and the Lions are driving at the 10-yard line. We're going to take a quick break. Stick with us, folks. We'll be back in just a few seconds here on SHN Sports.
Our first down sponsor this season is Borrow from Morrow. Borrow from Morrow. Our team is dedicated to providing the best mortgage experience possible. We do that by offering easy-to-use mortgage tools, including our handy mobile app, competitive rates, and assistance from an experienced loan officer. Our loan officers understand the local markets, have access to a wide variety of loan programs, and are ready to guide you through the process. Your family, your future, our focus. For your mortgage needs, remember, Matt Morrow, Borrow from Morrow. For more information, visit borrowfrommorrow.com. NMLS 464148.
Yeah. Welcome back to the GISD Athletic Complex here in Georgetown, Texas. The Eagles are up 7-0, 4:47 left in the Fine Line GC first quarter. Leander driving in their first possession, and they have eaten up a lot of clock, so it's going to be really important for them to put some points on the board here.
One of the things we talked about was, this is clearly a strategy by them to try to keep the blue offense off the field, and so far it's worked out for them.
Bergman takes a snap, quick throw over the middle, almost picked off. It was over the head of his intended receiver, Aiden Parker, number 14. Almost picked off, but out of everybody's reach.
Number 16 was closest to it.
Second and goal for the Leander Lions in their first drive of the night. Now the 13th play of this drive, a very, very, very time-consuming drive for Leander.
Which, where's the defense out? Where's the offense out? But it's, like I said, things get a little bit compressed. Rush the throw a little bit right there. A little bit high.
Bergman back in shotgun, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. Stout in the backfield with him. Quick throw out to Stout to the right, but that ball was tipped and incomplete, so that's going to bring up a third down at the 10-yard line. 4:39 left in the Fine Line GC first quarter.
So this is probably the most aggressive I've seen the defense early on, and they saw something on film or wanted to put something on film. Could be either way, but they showed a lot of different looks and some different pressure packages that I've seen.
I love an aggressive defense.
It's sometimes it's
when it works.
Burned early, yes.
Oh yeah, when it works. So 3rd and 10 at the Eagles 10, or 3rd and goal at the Eagles 10-yard line. 4:39 left in the first quarter here. Bergman back in shotgun formation with Stout to his left. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Quick throw over to the right side. He's got the receiver, but he dropped the ball.
Play by the corner, no flag.
Great job by who was
Leo
that?
Diaz.
Leo Diaz out there on the edge to hit the receiver right at the right time.
Timed it well, absolutely. Got a hand in there.
So this brings on the field goal attempt for Leander in their first drive. Number 5 is going to be holding. Gavin Brzezinski is the holder. And the kicker is number 32, Ivan Rodriguez. Kick is up. And it is good. So with 4:27 left in the first quarter, the Georgetown Eagles lead the Leander Lions 7-3. They both had 1 drive, both put points on the board, but Leander settles for a field goal. So we will take a quick break, come right back for the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff in just a minute. We'll be right back.
The first quarter of tonight's game is sponsored by Fine Line General Contractor. At Fine Line General Contractor, we are dedicated to meeting and exceeding our clients' expectations in Central Texas. Fine Line offers a wide variety of construction services, including budgeting, design assistance, scheduling, project management, and more. Fine Line General Contractor, committed to building excellence and relationships. Visit our website at finelinegc.com
Welcome back to the JCT Memorial Broadcast booth. We're at the GISD Athletic Complex in Georgetown, Texas. Your Georgetown Eagles lead the Leander Lions 7-3, and it's time for the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff. Whether you need one shirt or 100, there are no minimum orders or amounts of any custom pieces. Call or stop by 1911 North Austin Avenue in Georgetown or visit www.syntexshirt.com. And we appreciate all of our sponsors that you will see through the night. Ivan Rodriguez tees the ball up for Leander, and he kicks the ball short and high. They have scouted our kick return team.
I like to see that. It looks like they had a little
Ball
plan
comes
for
out,
that. The return.
Breaks around. He gets across the 40-yard
one
line.
man to
Stiff
beat.
arm, one guy to beat. Hat comes off, but he is down to about the 31-yard line, and that was
11.
Weston Bruce on the return. So instead of taking the deep medicine and what they get back there, Weston Bruce is able to hurt Leander, and now
and I can say this, you got great field position again. Knowing Coach Beatty, knowing this staff, you might see something a little bit tricky here.
So this first drive starts at the 32-yard line for the Eagles. 1st and 10 in Leander territory, and the Eagles are in business. Oh, a little trick
Boy, it's
play.
almost like I know these guys.
Yeah, there it is.
Come
There's
back
a
for
shot,
it.
and Dickman
There we
in
go.
for the touchdown. What a great throw from Noah Boris to Drayton Dickman for the quick touchdown.
When you know, you know.
One play drive, 32 yards.
Oh, flea flicker, little play
11
action.
seconds.
That's big from a scoreboard standpoint as well. Now your blitzes that you're calling is going to force them to drop back a little bit, and now they'll start getting home when you can't get rid of it so quickly, chasing points. So critical, the defense stepped up and held them to a field goal. Great return.
So that brings the G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point, but there's a flag on the play. I'm assuming that's going to be an offside on Leander. Aaron Guzman with the kick. So the defense against Leander is declined, and the extra point is good. The G-Town Lumber and Supply field goal brought to you by G-Town Lumber and Supply, 9400 Brown Lane in Austin, Texas. Hometown service like none other, gtownlumberandsupply.com. So the Eagles, with 4:08 left in the first quarter, the Fine Line GC first quarter, the Eagles are up 14-3, and the Eagle Football Booster drive summary is simple. One play, 32 yards, a little trickeration called up by Coach Beatty. Touchdown pass from Noah Boris to
I guess that was
Dickman.
classic, best trick play time, whatever you got on the books this week, and I'm sure next week there'll be a variation off of that for sure. But great start. A little bit of a contrast in styles. I think we've run 5 plays, 2 touchdowns, and maybe 6, and they went 13-14 on their first drive.
And that's what can get you in trouble with this Georgetown team. They can score quick.
Yes, they can.
But the defense
I was going to say, yes.
Defense is going, could you maybe take 3 plays, please?
Another one of those buzz terms, complimentary football.
So Aaron Guzman tees up the ball for the Eagles.
You get special teams like that, though. The return set that up. Defense did their job to get off the field with a field goal.
Guzman sends the ball deep. And number 14 fields the ball at about the 4-yard line. That's Aiden Parker. And he got
great
smashed.
Coverage. Great kick, great coverage.
At the 10. Number 17 in on the tackle for the Eagles, Jacob Weisheimer. And that is always fun to see. I love good special teams and hard-hitting football. So your the Leander Lions will start 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line, trailing 14-3 with 4:02 left in the Fine Line GC first quarter.
Now you want to see if you can force a turnover or get a little momentum swing and truly feel like you're in a good spot, taking a shot.
Bergman takes the snap, and he takes a shot, makes the throw down towards number 24, Garrett Pites, but there's a flag on the play. It's probably going to be on Georgetown.
And I thought he got back. Those are frustrating to see, those judgment calls that are kind of bang-bang.
Defense in the neutral zone, number 99, 5-yard penalty.
So
and that's the second pre-snap penalty.
If you watch that quarterback, he loves the hard count. He is trying really hard to pull these guys off sides, and it's something our defensive line needs to really sharpen up.
You know, we used to talk about you don't have a problem with effort penalties, but the ones that, kind of controlling the controllables, those are frustrating.
Concentration.
Yes.
3:57 left. Berkman takes the pass, throws it out to the left side, and that's number 2, Aiden Salazar on the reception. He's able to get across the 20-yard line to about the 22-yard line, which is going to be enough for a first down for Leander.
Great job there by Thomas Scholes. He went and blew that blocker up.
3:51 left in the Fine Line GC first quarter. 2 receivers out to the left, 3 out to the right for Berkman.
Back in that empty formation. We'll see if they motion somebody across or if they stay with it.
Empty set. Berkman goes back into shotgun formation. Fakes the clap and the snap. Receiver goes in motion. Fakes the handoff to him, and Berkman keeps it right up the middle, but he is met after about 3 yards and absolutely popped.
If he keeps running up the middle, Kelly, he's going to have a big ice bath ready for tomorrow morning.
Landry Leggett
figured
on the big hit.
Without having to see the number, I figured there was a good chance it was Landry sticking his face in there. He comes from a long line of very good, very physical football players.
Big hitters.
Yep.
Yeah, one of our broadcasts, somebody put in the comments, geez, how many Leggetts are there? So it's 2nd and 8.
He's the last one, unfortunately, for Georgetown football.
2nd and 8 for Leander. Berkman back in shotgun formation. Fakes the clap, then takes the snap.
Get there.
Tries to go up the middle, and he is stopped for no gain. And that was our hair guy, Tyler Duncan.
Yes, he's all right.
Tyler's a good ball player, and I like watching that kid play. That front's doing a good job, too.
They are.
He was trying to get out of the way of Ian Lewis and ran into the other fella.
Another 3rd and long, great opportunity to get off the field. See if they decide to bring pressure or sit back and play coverage a little bit.
2 minutes and 40 seconds. Clock is running here in the Fine Line GC first quarter. 3rd and 7. And a timeout by the Eagles. So we'll take a timeout with them right here in the Fine Line GC first quarter. 2:34 left. Your Eagles are up 14-3. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stick with us here on SHN Sports. The JCT broadcast booth is sponsored by JMT's in Round Rock. JMT's provides customized apparel and promotional items to small businesses, schools, and nonprofit organizations. Our services include screen printing, embroidery, and promotional items. Our game-changing direct-to-film printing allows JMT's to print full-color graphics on your garments. JMT's has the experience and confidence to take on any order. Visit our website at jmts.com or call us at 512-388-5555. We're back here in the JCT Memorial Broadcast booth. 2:34 left in the first quarter. Leander with the ball, 3rd and 8 at their own 25-yard line. Berkman's back in shotgun formation, takes a snap, and he's looking kind of deep, but he doesn't have a receiver, and he's got some room to run. He's across the 45, 35 to the 40, crosses the 40 and gets to the 41-yard line on a good run by Berkman. Defense was wide open in the middle for that run.
They were playing coverage, and pass rush didn't get there. And going back to the Coach Nicky saw something he didn't like on the 3rd down. Thought it was a good timeout, good decision. And sometimes, got to count for the quarterback. And Berkman's athletic enough to hurt you if he has some space.
1st and 10 for the Lions at their own 41-yard line. 2 minutes left in the Fine Line GC first quarter. Berkman back in the backfield. Got a running back there with him. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Berkman takes the snap. He's looking over to his right. He's got a receiver out at about the 47-yard line. Slung out of bounds by Leo Diaz there. That's number 14 on the reception, Aiden Parker.
Coach, you better be careful. He's staring down his wide receiver. Our defense is fixing to have a pick 6 here pretty soon if he doesn't.
Yes. Definitely see corner breaking on it, maybe a linebacker getting underneath, but –
so Berkman set up, 2nd down and 5 at about the 46-yard line of Leander. Berkman's back in shotgun formation, 2 receivers right, 3 to his left. Receiver goes in motion. He fakes the handoff and rolls out to his right. Berkman's looking to the middle of the field, and at the hash mark, he's got a receiver out there. There's a flag on the play by the side judge.
Back to the line of scrimmage.
On the reception is number 9, Joseph Morrow. The initial indication is that's going to be against Leander.
Holding offense number 61, 5-yard field, replay second down.
Fortunate there.
So the hold is going to back him up 10 yards. It'll make it 2nd and 15 for Leander. 1:08 left in the Fine Line GC first quarter. Clock is started back. Winding down, about a minute left now. Berkman looking over to the sideline, back in the backfield with him. Damian Stout, number 28. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Stout offset to the left of Berkman. Berkman takes a snap, looks for a quick throw, fakes it.
Great pressure up the middle.
And he is pressured up the middle and taken down at the 30-yard line by big number 99, Michael Valenta. Great job by the defense putting pressure there and collapsing that pocket.
That's ideal because you get to stay in your pass rush lanes. Pressure from up the middle is always a little more advantageous because, quarterback can't step up and scramble like happened on that third down earlier. You like to see that push up the middle. That makes things really, really difficult for the offense.
So the first sack for the Eagles winds up with a 3rd and 21 for Leander. Big hill to climb here with 12, 11, 10 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll see if they get another snap off.
May want to take it to the quarter, take a little time. And
Berkman drops back, takes the pass, and he's got pressure. 2 guys on him.
Maybe they should have taken it to the quarter.
They probably should have, but that was big number 5, Daniel Obina, back in there on the 2nd sack in a row. Him and Michael Valenta got pressure, but Obina got the sack. Valenta tried to strip him, and that brings us to the end of the Fine Line GC first quarter. Your Eagles are up 14-3 on the Leander Lions. When we come back, Leander's going to be facing a 4th and 21 probable punt coming here. So we will be back in just a few minutes here on SHN Sports, bringing you Georgetown Eagle football. Stick with us, folks. We'll be right back.
Our first down sponsor this season is Borrow from Morrow. Borrow from Morrow. Our team is dedicated to providing the best mortgage experience possible. We do that by offering easy-to-use mortgage tools, including our handy mobile app, competitive rates, and assistance from an experienced loan officer. Our loan officers understand the local markets, have access to a wide variety of loan programs, and are ready to guide you through the process. Your family, your future, our focus. For your mortgage needs, remember, Matt Morrow, Borrow from Morrow. For more information, visit borrowfrommorrow.com. NMLS 464148.
So hot. Welcome back to the it's not the Fine Line GC first quarter anymore. It's the second quarter now. Welcome back to the GISD Athletic Complex and Birkelbach Field. We are starting the second quarter here in Georgetown. The Works second quarter. The Eagles are up 14-3. 4th down for the Leander Lions. 4th and 21 at their own 25-yard line. And they are set up for a punt. Back deep is Drayden Dickman. It's some pressure, but they don't get to the punt. Drayden signals for a fair catch, and he makes the catch at about the 44-yard line.
It was a little bit of an adventure.
So the Eagles will start their drive right there, and that's the kind of play that makes a coach pucker.
Yes, no doubt.
So the Eagles are going to start 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line, 11:53 here in the Works. Second quarter, the Eagles are up 14-3, and out comes the offense.
I did like seeing, I think if we needed to block a punt, we'd have the opportunity to potentially do that. We had 3 guys that were in the vicinity, and if that was truly the call, I think we could have been in good shape.
Noah Boris at quarterback, back in the shotgun formation. He's got Andrew Petter right behind him. He takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Petter, and throws it out to number 11 on the edge, Weston Bruce. Bruce turns up the field. He breaks one tackle. He's across the 30 to the 25, down to the 20, the 15, the 10. Sheds another blocker. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
Nice and easy.
What a beautiful run after the catch.
Kelly, I think you could call plays if they're going to break tackles like that.
Weston Bruce on one play is able to go 48 yards and scores to put the Eagles up 20-3 with 11:39 left in the Works second quarter. Brings on the G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point attempt.
With a little bit of a different formation.
Kick is up and good, but there's a flag on the play. It's going to be offsides on Leander. So the extra point is good by Aaron Guzman. The G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point is brought to you by G-Town Lumber and Supply, 9400 Brown Lane in Austin, Texas. Hometown service like none other. GTownLumberandSupply.com.
That's just demoralizing for,
Right.
You know, it's not even number 2, number 6. It's number 11.
Where did he come from?
Who's this guy?
Well, and he was, you know, there was a lot of green grass covering number 11 on that one. Broke a couple of tackles, did a great job cutting back inside, and got a little help downfield. And, you know, rest is history. Now you can tell Leander had a game plan to maybe run a little clock, you know, keep the offense off the field. Now you're down 21-3. That's out the window. You saw, you know, quarterback was getting pressured right up the middle, nothing exotic. So, you know, you feel like you're in good shape, but – you know, if you're Leander, they're probably talking on the headsets, what are we going to do a little bit differently to have some success?
So the Eagle Football Booster Drive Summary. Once again, easy.
One play.
One play.
That'll do.
48 yards for a touchdown, and it took 8 seconds.
Lots of yards after contact.
Aaron Guzman tees the ball up for the Eagles. Ready for the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff. Here with 11:39 left in the works, second quarter. Two back deep for Leander.
Another good kick.
Good kick fielded
Deep
at the
in the corner.
4-yard line. Up to the 15, gets to about the 17-yard line and then forced out of bounds there. So the Leander Lions will start at about their own 16-yard line. With 11:32 left in the works,
I got to think you got to start thinking about a fair catch there.
A couple of games back, or last several games, he's had some flags kicking it out of bounds at that same spot. He has been precise kicking it to that corner, and
that's. I mean, we used to sit there on Sundays and meet about that very kick right there. Maybe a touch more hang time, but if you can put it in that spot, get the coverage they're getting, that is, you know, like I said, Leander probably needs to start calling fair catch on that, or that's something that they need to have the conversation about. Because
if you're inside the 10-yard line, you make a fair catch, you get the ball at 25
right.
versus you're starting out at the 16.
Yep.
So Leander hustles out, lines up real quick, and actually Berkman goes under center. 3 backs in the backfield. Berkman takes a snap, and I think he lost the ball. Georgetown has it. Georgetown recovers the fumbled snap at the 25-yard line of Leander.
You know, Dave, kind of going back to one thing you said a minute ago, it's not 22. It hasn't been 6. You know, so you're starting to see some new weapons emerge, putting that on film that you know, you can't just double-team those guys or load the box. It's good to see other playmakers emerge, and that's, you know, our offenses that were really, really good. It was when you started to have 3 and 4 and 5 playmakers that could help you out.
Berkman was unable to handle the snap,
and
the ball was
just
recovered
on the exchange. And that's it. You know, if you shotgun so often and go under center, those things happen.
Ball was recovered by Gabriel DeNova. Boris takes a snap. He looks over towards Andrew Petter, but comes back to the middle of the field, and across the middle of the field is number 17, Jacob Weisheimer, with the reception down to about the 15-yard line. So the Eagles are in the Smoothie King red zone.
And that's something we've been wanting to see, is to see him look off the receiver. We had been talking about that, and it's nice to see him looking him off because he was able to get where he wanted in the middle of the field that time.
Little delay. Go ahead.
Barfamaro first down inside the Smoothie King red zone. Noah Boris back in shotgun formation, takes a snap and hands it to Andrew Petter. He has one guy wrapped around his leg, but he's able to drag him for a couple of yards, turns nothing into something there. Here in the Smoothie King red zone, Smoothie King at Wolf Ranch, blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Smoothie King located in the Wolf Ranch Town Center in Georgetown. Second down and 8 for the Eagles at their own 13-yard line. Boris back in shotgun formation with Petter to his right side.
They made contact
and he's
there.
able to draw the defense offside, so that's going to move the ball up about 5 yards and make it a second and short.
One thing, you know, you saw on film and watching, Leander's not going to quit playing. They're going to keep coming at you. Those guys are relentless. They play hard, so they're not going to quit by any means.
Number 53, Daniel Cedillo, is who the penalty was on. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 3 at the 13-yard line. Georgetown threatening here. 10:27 left in the work, second quarter. Boris back in shotgun formation. He moves Petter over to his left. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He's looking to his left, and he takes the ball down, throws it into the end zone for a touchdown. No, that wasn't Andrew Petter. That was Weston Bruce. Again. Great throw, great decision by the quarterback, Noah Boris. And the Eagles are opening this up here in the second quarter.
Dave, going back to something you said earlier, it looked like he was set to go up top. He had a nice one-on-one matchup, but got the safety got over the top late, and he made a really good decision. I thought he was going to take off and run, but he saw Bruce coming open just a little bit, and that's the snapping it off in there that they talked about.
Aaron Guzman back for the G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point attempt. Guzman's kick is up, and it is good. G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point brought to you by G-Town Lumber and Supply, 9400 Brown Lane in Austin, Texas. Hometown service like none other. G-Town Lumber and Supply, and that gives your Eagles a 28-3 lead with 10-12 left in the works second quarter.
That was 4 plays that time.
and Andrew Petter got a couple of yards for his stats tonight.
So tells me they're coming.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back for the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff here in just a second. Stick with us here on SHN Sports.
The Smoothie King Red Zone is sponsored by Smoothie King of Georgetown. It's our commitment to blend a more nutritious smoothie from bottom of the cup up. It's your choice, same flavor, 0 compromises. Smoothie King at Wolf Ranch, blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Smoothie King is located at Wolf Ranch Town Center, 1003 West University, Suite 110 in Georgetown, Texas.
Welcome back to the GISD Athletic Complex, the JCT Memorial Broadcast Booth, brought to you by JMTs, and it is time for the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff. Whether you need 1 shirt or 100, there are no minimum order amounts of any custom pieces. Call or stop by 1911 North Austin Avenue in Georgetown. The Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff. Aaron Guzman back for the kick. 2 deep, 4, 6, kind of deep. Guzman kicks the ball high and to about the 7-yard line, and it will be returned there. He's crossed the 15-yard line. 1 tackler missed, but he is wrapped up at about the 18-yard line. A little extracurricular activity going on there, and there comes the flag. Going to be interesting who they call that on. The ball's marked down at about the 18-yard line, but I think they're going to call this on Georgetown for personal foul. Not sure who it was.
16 was a little late flying in there after the whistle. I'm not sure, though.
Looks like Coach Griffin's trying to say maybe he was pushed into him.
Yeah, Garrett Lloyd called on the personal foul. Coach Griffin having a conversation with the referees. He likes all these referees, talks to all of them, sometimes really loud. But just getting to know them, building relationships.
I may or may not have had a bit of a reputation for that back in my days. So I better bite my tongue on that one.
So Logan Mitchell in at quarterback. Is that right? Number 6. Mitchell takes the snap back. He looks deep, throws the ball over the middle, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver was Aiden Parker, number 14, but Leander has made a change at quarterback with 9:57 left in the work second quarter, and the Lions down by 25.
You know what? Try something different. He actually looks like he got hit and got up limping a little bit there, but staying with it. I don't know if he's maybe more of a thrower, but at this point you got nothing to lose by trying something a little bit different.
So Damian Stout in the backfield with him. Also number 48, Isaac Escobedo. A little bit different look with 2 backs in the backfield with the new quarterback, Logan Mitchell. Mitchell takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and he's looking for something deep, but he's pressured in the backfield. Gets away from somebody in the backfield.
Get him on the ground. Got blue hats coming.
Being pursued by Eagles all over the field, but he is able to have a good gain. Gets across the 40-yard line to about the 41, almost 42-yard line, which is going to bring up a 3rd down and 2. That's a big play.
He tucked that ball pretty quick.
It is, and those are frustrating because those are ones against a team like A&M Consolidated we saw a couple weeks ago. Some of the teams that are coming up, some of the athletes you're going to see can get out of a tackle and take that to the house.
Quarterback number 7.
Yep, got a little rotation going.
All right, so Cameron Berkman back in there. The senior quarterback was replaced for a couple of plays by number 6, Logan Mitchell, the sophomore. Berkman back in shotgun formation, takes the snap and hands the ball off right up the middle to number 28, Stout. Stout's able to power his way across the 45 to about the 48-yard line. That's going to be a Leander first down with 9 minutes left in the Works second quarter.
Good job keeping the legs moving.
See some strong running backs.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Able to take defenders with them.
Yeah, and I mean, they clearly trust putting them in empty, putting them in motion.
Berkman steps back into shotgun, has Stout to his right, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Takes the snap, quick throw out to the right side. Couldn't see who that was that made the reception.
Good hustle getting out there by Obina.
Big Daniel Obina roaring out there.
Always fun to see a D lineman clean it up.
Kyle Lavin on the reception, but there's a flag on the play.
I think he saw Obina coming. He just went down. He didn't want to take that hit.
Smart man.
And that one hurts. 15-yard penalty on the chop block.
2 offensive linemen on that.
It takes 2 for a chop block. So that backs the ball up to the Leander 33-yard line. It's going to be first and Gerald.
That's frustrating. Totally flip field position. Now you're back deep in your own territory as opposed to midfield. And
first and 25. Berkman back in shotgun. Takes a snap, and he's looking over to his right,
screen.
Dumps it off over across the middle to Stout, but there's nothing there. Actually loses a yard on that play.
Big Valenta was not fooled on that.
He did a great job staying home.
Jacob Faltasek also coming up, being involved in that tackle. Second down and 25.
I know those guys used to say, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And stay home.
Yeah. 7 minutes, 47 seconds, and the clock is running here in the Works second quarter. Georgetown leads 28-3. Berkman takes the snap, a quick throw out to the right side with a lot of room in front of him. Running back's able to break a couple of tackles, and he gets across the 45-yard line into Georgetown territory. He's down to about the 41-yard line is where he's marked down there. That was number 18, Joe Weiss, on the reception, and he gives Leander a first down in Georgetown territory at the 41-yard line.
That's frustrating because it goes back to the tackling piece we've talked about, and I know they've worked hard on that.
And that's really the first missed tackle without some follow-up that we've seen.
It was, and, you know, they spread you out and a lot of green grass out there, and make 1 or 2 miss. It can be a long gain. You know, credit to Weiss for making a nice play there.
Berkman looking to the sidelines, giving the signals to his lineman. Steps back. He's got Stout off to his left. Some pressure coming in on Berkman. Quick throw, but it's picked off.
Leo Diaz.
Across the 30. Diaz takes it across the 40, across the 50. He's into Leander territory. Gets down to the 40, down to about the Leander 38-yard line. Leo Diaz on the second turnover now for Leander. And Georgetown has the ball in Leander territory with 6:41 left in the Works second quarter. Great job by that defense.
Here we go, the trash can.
Alley-oop. Dave, credit to you for calling that one. You said he was going to get one tonight, and a little bit different route concept there, but he sat on that and looked like an athlete taking it the other way.
I love watching Coach Nicky with that trash can out there. That's awesome.
So that turnover gives Georgetown the ball with 6:41 left in the Works second quarter. Noah Boris in the backfield.
I think he let Andrew Petter go lean on him a little bit right here. Let him get going.
Petter's offset to his right. Boris avoids a tackler, rolls out to his right, and he's looking deep for number 11, but his ball is overthrown. There was some contact there, but no flags on the play. The intended receiver was Weston Bruce.
So we talked about a young man named Dakota Cahill earlier that was a fantastic blocker from the running back position, and Petter did exactly that right there. You know, quarterback looked like he had somebody bearing down on him, and Andrew turned around and walled the defender off, shadowed him, did a great job of just being a football player.
Full house backfield back there with Noah Boris. He takes a snap and hands it to Petter. Petter starts off up the middle, cuts back to the right.
Hollybeck.
Oh, that is Hollybeck. Hollybeck's able to get across down to about the 36-yard line.
Those are a couple of kids I remember, like I said, from basketball camps and football camps, is 7, 8-year-olds that you know, it's fun to see those guys grow up and be playmakers on Friday nights.
Jacob Mylock in the backfield, Andrew Petter in the backfield, Hollybeck in the backfield with Noah. Takes a snap and hands it to Petter. Petter starts off to the
What a
right,
color.
crosses the 30. He's dragging defenders with him and gets down to about the 26-yard line. That's going to be enough for a borrow from Morrow first down for your mortgage needs. Remember Matt Morrow, borrow from Morrow. Borrowfrommorrow.com. And Georgetown driving the ball after the turnover. The interception by Leo Diaz. 5:45 left in the work second quarter. Georgetown's up 28-3 on Leander, and they are threatening again.
Nice to be a play caller on 3rd and 8 when you can hand it off and get 10.
Boris in the backfield with Petter to his right. Receiver goes in motion. Boris looks to his left first, then comes back to Dickman to his right, but there's nothing there. Well sniffed out by the Leander defense. Number 8, Langston Brady in there, one of the tacklers for the Lions. Loss of a yard, so that's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, I like the call. You know, screens are tough. Your linemen got to get out really flat. Everybody's got to take good angles and just the wrong, initial couple of steps, and you can be totally off track, and didn't quite get where we needed to on that one.
A little bit of a different look here. Boris takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Petter, and throws it out quickly out to the right side.
Boy, Bruce is having himself
Bruce.
a night.
Good reception. He's able to shed one tackler and get across the 10-yard line down to the 9-yard line, and that brings up another borrow from Morrow first down in the Smoothie King red zone. Smoothie King at Wolf Ranch, blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Smoothie King located in Wolf Ranch Town Center, and the Eagles are in business at the 7-yard line inside the Smoothie King red zone. 4:42 left.
Kelly, I have a feeling we're going to be telling Snoop all about Bruce tonight.
Oh, my. Bruce is having – we haven't called his name a lot this year, but we're calling it a lot tonight. Boris back in shotgun. Petter off to his left. Receiver goes in motion, and there is all kinds of catastrophe taking place.
Yes, both sides of the ball. That was when they're watching huddle later. Both sides will just erase that one. Take it out of the library.
In football terminology, it is a do-over.
Yeah, yes.
And to not to. So that backs the ball up to the 12-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and goal at the 12 for the Eagles.
There's more room for a fade.
I'm sorry, 1st and goal. Still first down. 2 receivers out to the left. Dickman way out to the right.
I think we're going to see a handoff here.
Petter in the backfield. Petter takes the ball right up the middle, and he is going to score. Touchdown. Eagles on the 12-yard run by Andrew Petter after the turnover. So the Eagles take the interception and turn it into points, and they have now increased the lead to 34-3 with 3:58 left. The G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point to come.
And I think they're doing a really good job of spacing some receivers out, kind of seeing what the defense is going to get them. And, to this point, Drayden Dickman's kind of been a little bit of a decoy, so to speak, but he's doing his job, and he's taking his men out of the play, and that's opening everything else in the middle.
Aaron Guzman on the G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point. The kick is good, and that stretches the lead to 35-3 Georgetown with 3:58 left in the work second quarter. G-Town Lumber and Supply is your sponsor of the extra points and field goal attempts tonight. 9400 Brown Lane in Austin, Texas. Hometown service like none other. G-Town Lumber and Supply. And I didn't see this coming. I kind of expected they'd put some points on the board, but what I really didn't expect was Leander's inability to move the ball much. They had one really good drive in their first drive, put some points on the board in their first drive, and then after that it's been shut down.
And like we kind of said, from a game plan standpoint, I think their plan was to keep it close, run some clock, and you kind of took them out of that. And when you start kind of scrambling beyond what you expected and what you planned for all week, it can become – get uncomfortable very quickly.
And a tip of the cap to the Georgetown defense. Hold them to 3 after that long drive, and then a fumble recovery and an interception.
2 turnovers, both resulted in touchdowns for the Eagles. And this last touchdown brings on Aaron Guzman for the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff. Whether you need 1 shirt or 100, there are no minimum order amounts on any custom pieces. Call or stop by 1911 North Austin Avenue or visit syntexshirt.com. And my goodness, couple of score updates from around the district. Texas A&M Consolidated is up 17-0 on Hendrickson. The kick by Aaron Guzman is fielded at the 8-yard line, brought up to the right side, and there's some room. He was able to get across the 25-yard line to about the 27-yard line, and that was number 18. I couldn't see the number.
18-23 maybe. Either way, whoever it was made a heck of a play, because if he breaks that tackle, he and Guzman are one-on-one. And
so with 3:52 left in the Works second quarter, Leander starts this drive at their own 27-yard line, 1st and 10, trailing the Eagles 35-3, and they've got some work to do. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Berkman back in the backfield. Has Stout offset to his left. Quick throw goes out to the right, and the ball was batted down by number 10, Ian Lewis, making the defensive play there, and this defense has showed up to play football tonight.
This is one of those drives here where you don't hear about it outside of a coaching office, but you want to get a stop on the first drive going into halftime, or the last drive going into halftime, and the first drive coming out. And this is one of those culture play, somewhat maybe a strong term, but this is one where is a step you can take as a defense if you can get off the field here.
Berkman in the backfield, Stout offset to his left. Defender jumps and the flag goes up, so they've got a free play. Unable to make the connection. The intended receiver out there on the edge was unable to bring the ball in, but that's going to be an offsides, neutral zone infraction by the Eagles. And what you were talking about before that play, Coach Griffin talks about that middle 8.
Yep.
Last 4 minutes of the first half,
absolutely.
First 4 minutes of the second half. You want to win that? Here's the call.
And I don't think that's football specific. I think that goes across, a lot of sports. Basketball, football, soccer.
Michael Valenta on the infraction.
Got to think defense is going to be pleased with the turnovers, going to be frustrated with the penalties in the first half.
3 receivers to Berkman's left, 1 to his right. Stout moves over to his left in the backfield. Snap goes back, and he's looking to his right. Quick throw out to the right. Just at the first down marker, number 14, Aiden Parker, is able to make that reception. And I think they're giving him enough, maybe just short.
Giving it to him.
Interesting spot. So that's going to be a first down. 3:35-34 and counting in the Works second quarter. Berkman backs up back into the shotgun once again with Stout offset to his left. 3 receivers out left, 1 out right. Handoff goes to Stout. He goes off the right side, and he is unable to go anywhere.
Good call right there. Run right into the teeth of the blitz, so to speak. And
it just doesn't work running up the middle on Georgetown too much.
Well, especially when they're blitzing, expecting some passes, but turns into a run blitz, and they shut it down for no gain. 3 minutes left in the Works second quarter. 2nd and 10 for Leander at their own 32-yard line.
And I'll say that Leander's tried a lot of different stuff tonight. They're throwing some different looks out there for sure.
Berkman takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Stout, pump fakes. Receiver goes deep, and he is able to make the reception. He is across the 30-yard line, and the referee marks him out at the 28-yard line of Georgetown. Aiden Parker on the reception. 2:43 left, and Leander finally has something going on their offensive side of the ball.
I'm not along with you here because I was just thinking they have targeted Aiden Parker a ton tonight. He's clearly a playmaker, somebody they're trying to get their hands into, and right on cue.
Berkman takes the snap, looks for a quick throw out to the right. Defense comes up, and they miss a tackle, gets around the edge, and he is going to score. And that is not the touchdown that you want.
Defense was in position.
Number 10, Kyle Lavin, on the touchdown reception from Berkman. So that gives Leander a little bit of life. 2:33 left in the Works second quarter. Ivan Rodriguez, the junior kicker, in for the extra point attempt. Snap is back. Hold is down, and
blocked.
The kick is blocked. Blocked. So the Georgetown special teams comes up big, and I think that was Brandon Stovall.
Special teams has really been doing well tonight. I haven't seen too many mistakes on their end, from the placement of those kicks to.
Agreed.
So with 2:33 left here in the second quarter, the Works second quarter, Leander has closed the gap a little bit. It's 35-9 Georgetown over Leander. And it's a bit deflating because you score and then the extra point gets blocked. It's only 1 point, but it's the idea
still, yes,
behind.
Football, I shouldn't say it's a momentum sport, but yes, you make some great plays to get down there, and then it's just,
Until the next offensive snap from Georgetown.
Right. The one-play thing continues. And this is one of those complimentary football situations where ideally you'd like to run some clock. Best case score a touchdown, at least get down there and have a shot at a field goal, but don't give them the ball back.
Right, yeah. 2:33 remaining.
Especially at this point because Leander will get it coming out of the half.
Yes.
You don't want to let them have two for one,
Sure.
as we used to say in basketballs.
So 2:33 left here in the Works second quarter. 2:33 left in the half. Georgetown up 35-9, and I would not be surprised. Georgetown has 2 timeouts left. Leander has 2 timeouts left. Won't be surprised at all if Coach Griffin uses both those timeouts and they try to put some more points on the board and suck the wind back out of the sails of the Leander
First
line.
half, keep your foot on the gas. Watch something potentially tricky here. Stay home.
All gas, no brakes.
That's what I was fixing to say. Are you expecting a hands team out there right now?
Back deep for the Eagles is number 6, Drayden Dickman, number 22, Andrew Petter. And we will see if this kick actually goes back to either of them. Their short kicks have actually cost them. So it's going to be interesting.
Sorry, Kelly. And it looks like the coaches have had a plan for the short return. I mean, they've especially the last one where he brought it around the outside. That's not just a kid being an athlete. That's schemed up on Sundays, and they had a plan for that.
Nice job there by Weston Bruce watching that ball go out of bounds. So that's going to bring the ball up to the 35-yard line, and Georgetown will start right there with 2:33 left in the Works second quarter. Eagles are up 35-9. The offense is coming back out with 2 timeouts. Plenty of time to put. They're going to make them re-kick it.
Why not?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you've had great field position tonight when the 35-yard line might be your worst start.
Yeah.
And they're kicking it short.
But on the flip side, no time came off the board. You could have the ball at 35 with no time coming off, 2:33 left, or make them kick it again.
We'll see.
They kick it again.
It is one of those judgment calls.
Why not?
Go with your gut. And
your special teams blocked an extra point. Now let's see if they can put some points on the board.
Yep. Going to rely again. Going back to that, you rely on teenagers for your livelihood. let them make you right here.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. But this also tells me that Georgetown is not satisfied with a 35-9 lead.
Absolutely.
Holden Tuma sends us stats from the house while he's sitting there bleeding from his tooth extraction today. We appreciate that. Weston Bruce, 4 receptions, 100 yards, 2 TDs. All of those are season highs for Weston Bruce. Holden, thanks for sending those stats, man. Get better, and if your extraction sites are still bleeding, I heard something about chewing on a tea bag or something. The kick goes deep, and Dickman fields it right at the goal line. He's out across the 10, 15, 20-yard line. He's got something up the middle. The flag comes flying out. He's able to break a tackle, crosses the 35, 45. He's across midfield into Leander territory.
Fortunately,
so
that's
there's
an
going
area
to be some sort of heinous block.
Might be coming back.
Yep.
That's in that no man's land where you.
That one is rarely, if ever, on the kick team.
Yes.
Dickman took one heck of a pop coming out.
Did there late.
Yeah.
Hold.
Is it
Did
too
you
late?
say number 8?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. Jacob Faltasek on the penalty. So that puts the ball at the 29-yard line, 2:22 left. But even with the penalty, they got 4 more yards than they had. No, 6 less.
You're in the ballpark.
6.
You're in the vicinity. You can't be too upset about that, other than the penalty.
You're taking shots. So with 2:22 left in the Works second quarter, the Eagle offense is in business at the 29-yard line. Petter goes in motion out to the left. Boris takes a snap, looks for a quick throw out to the right, out to the left.
Get out of bounds.
Reception.
Don't dance too much.
Crosses the 45 to the 50, over
First down.
into Leander territory, down about the 48. Leo Diaz on the reception. No, Marquise Dominguez, I'm sorry. Marquise Dominguez on the reception. Georgetown hustles up. Ball gets set, 2:10 and running on the clock. Eagles are in Leander territory at the 48-yard line.
And I'm kind of smiling to myself here as I'm watching Petter motion out of the backfield because, this is just allows the offensive staff to put on their mad scientist hat and get creative.
Petter clears out
minutes.
of the backfield. Boris takes a snap. He's pursued, but he's able to – and Petter is wide open. Boris missed him. He's going to be sick about that one. Petter somehow, some way was all alone. Leander forgot about number 22, and just a little more air under that ball, and that's another touchdown.
I think he was being covered by the 20-yard line as the nearest defender.
That sprinkler head out there.
Petter comes off
Man.
because he's been running so far. He's run about 287 yards tonight, not all with the ball, so he's a little gassed, getting a little break. And in the backfield is number 26, Cody Hoyebeck. He's off to the right, now goes to the left of Noah Boris. 3 receivers to Noah's right, 1 to his left. Quick throw out to the right.
Good job by Drayden Dickman getting the block.
Dickman gets a good block. And the reception takes Weston Bruce takes the reception over to the 37-yard line. That's enough for a borrow from Morrow first down.
Is it too late for me to add Weston Bruce to my fantasy team?
Oh, no kidding.
He's having a fantastic first half.
Clock stops with Weston getting out of bounds. Good heads-up play. 1:41 left in the work second quarter. Boris is back alone in the backfield all by himself. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to the right. 2 defenders jump, make contact. So that is a penalty. Dave, that reminds me when he called dead ball, neutral zone infraction. Those referees at the state championship game, they were wearing the other referees out on the field. It's got to be a dead ball. All right, here we go. 2 receivers out to the left, 2 to the right. Boris in the backfield with Andrew Patter. 1:41 left. The ball at the 32-yard line. Snap back to Boris. He's looking deep. He's got plenty of time now. He's got to scramble.
Step up.
Gets out of the pocket. He's got a receiver open. That's Drayden Dickman. Catches the ball at the 18-yard line. He's crossed 10 to 5. Gets across. And that's a touchdown for Drayden Dickman. Great run after catch for Drayden Dickman, the senior wide receiver and speedster.
You knew he was going to get his at some point. And I got to say, I'm really, really impressed by Nick Boris because there's been a couple times he scrambled to get himself out of trouble. I thought for sure he was going to take off and go, but he is scrambling with his eyes up and just finding guys in space. And that's impressive.
Those are veteran plays.
Yes, they are. Exactly.
From a
yes.
Junior quarterback. Aaron Guzman in for the extra point attempt. The G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point attempt. Boris on the hold, snaps back. Hold is down, kick is up, and it is good. And that stretches the lead right back out with 1:28 left in the work second quarter. It is 42-9. Your Georgetown Eagles are leading the Leander Lions. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us here on SHN Sports.
The Smoothie King Red Zone is sponsored by Smoothie King of Georgetown. It's our commitment to blend a more nutritious smoothie from bottom of the cup up. It's your choice, same flavor, 0 compromises. Smoothie King at Wolf Ranch, blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Smoothie King is located at Wolf Ranch Town Center, 1003 West University, Suite 110 in Georgetown, Texas.
Welcome back to the GISD Athletic Complex and the JCT Memorial Broadcast Booth, brought to you by JMTs. It is time for the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff. Whether you need 1 shirt or 100, there are no minimum orders on any custom pieces. Call or stop by 1911 North Austin Avenue in Georgetown or visit syntexshirt.com. The lead 42-9, Georgetown over the Leander Lions. 1:28 left in the works second quarter. Aaron Guzman on for the kick. And half of the kick team back deep. Guzman approaches. The kick is up and caught at the 9-yard line.
Good placement, good coverage.
Good coverage by the defense. And he is swarmed at about the 18-yard line. So with 1:21 left in the work second quarter, Leander starts at their own 18-yard line, and they have not fair caught that kick yet.
I tried to tell them.
It's easy camera work. I know exactly where to put the camera every time.
If that receiver would put 1 foot out of bounds before he catches the ball, then they get the ball up at the 35.
That was the other thing, too.
Well,
he caught that right along the sideline. Do you take a chance on maybe letting that one hit the turf and rolling out of bounds?
So Cameron Berkman back in. Shotgun formation. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Running back in the backfield with him. He rolls out to his right after he takes a snap, tries a quick throw, but there's no place to go with the ball. Good coverage out there, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 at the 18-yard line. 1:15 left in the work second quarter.
And I mean, what we talked about last drive absolutely still applies here. You want to get, you got one more drive than you expected, but you still want to get off the field having some success right here. Stay sharp, stay focused into the half.
And then come out sharp.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. 0-0 coming out.
Berkman alone in the backfield. 2 receivers to his right, 3 to his left. 1:15 left in the work second quarter. Fakes the clap again. Takes a snap back. He's looking to his right. Throws out to his right. Ball is unable to be caught out there, and a good defensive play. Brings an incompletion. The intended receiver out there was number 26? 20. Tanner Christensen, the intended receiver. Brings up 3rd down and 10. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. Leander needs to run this clock.
I'm beginning to wonder that myself.
Because
they brought Aiden Parker back in, though. I was looking to see if he might be matched up one-on-one up top, and it looks like we have numbers over there, probably a little bit of a zone look, so I think we're in good shape. But
Berkman takes a snap, quick throw out to the right.
Tackle, out of bounds.
Good tackle, puts the receiver out of bounds, and that stops the clock with 1:04. And I know Coach Beatty is in Coach Griffin's hip pocket going, hey, Coach, please, can we please run some more?
Yeah, goes back to what you said. Should they have been running clock there? Now you got to punt, give it back with 1 minute in timeouts.
4th and 8. Ball is at the Leander 21-yard line. 1 minute, 4 seconds left. Drayden Dickman back deep to receive this punt.
I think you're going to see him set up the return here.
You think they maybe fake it? No chance.
No, I don't think not here.
But who knows? What do you got to lose? Able to get the punt away. Dickman lets it bounce once, lets it bounce twice, 3, 4, 10 times. That ball, good kick, rolls down to inside the Georgetown 30-yard line, down to about the 27-yard line. So Georgetown has 49 seconds and 2 timeouts to work with. You go for more points, you run this out.
First half, I think you take one shot here. See what this first play does. You pop one, you get a big play, then I think you absolutely you continue to go for the jugular. If not, maybe if you get stuffed on first down, maybe you take a knee and take it to the half.
So is this where you hand it to Petter, and if he busts one for 10, 12, 15 yards and you hustle up and try to score some points?
I think so. You got timeouts. You can use one if he stays in bounds, doesn't get the first down, but yeah, absolutely.
Boris and Petter in the backfield. 1 receiver right, 1 receiver left. Tight end set off to the left side.
Leander maybe misaligned, ran one on late. We'll see if that affects him in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, they're taking a shot. A double move.
Flatten him off.
Ball's out to Dickman, and he's able to reel it in at about the 34-yard line. That took a long time to develop, but Boris had plenty of time back there, and the offensive line was doing a good job.
Protection was there. You're going to take those downfield shots. Protection's got to be good, and they held up well there.
39 seconds left in the work second quarter. Clock stops with Dickman getting out of bounds.
Had some pretty good ones at receiver over the years too. That could turn some ankles and leave some jocks on the field.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Petter in the backfield with Noah Boris. 39 seconds left in the work second quarter.
Should
be another flag there. It's going to be a free play.
Scramble drill.
Boris trying not to get tackled, but he get tackled, and coaches are probably screaming at him to get on the ground.
Yep.
And a timeout called by Coach Griffin, even with the flag.
Going to give you a first down.
The penalty brings on a borrow from Morrow first down with 30 seconds left in the work second quarter. For your mortgage needs, remember Matt Morrow, borrow from Morrow. Borrowfrommorrow.com. That's going to bring the ball out to about the 39-yard line, and Coach Griffin's going to take a timeout. Game plan a little bit here. 30 seconds left in the half. We'll take a break with him. We'll be right back. Stick with us, folks, here on SHN Sports. This is Georgetown Eagle.
JCT broadcast booth is sponsored by JMT's in Round Rock. JMT's provides customized apparel and promotional items to small businesses, schools, and nonprofit organizations. Our services include screen printing, embroidery, and promotional items. Our game-changing direct-to-film printing allows JMT's to print full-color graphics on your garments. JMT's
has the experience and confidence to take on any order. Visit our website at jmtees.com or call us at 512-388-5555. Welcome back to the JCT Memorial Broadcast booth. 30 seconds left. Boris takes a snap, rolls out to the right. Now he's pressured by the Leander defense, and they get their first sack of the night. So that's going to be a ball down at about the 31-yard line, and I'm guessing that's going to satisfy Coach Griffin and this staff. Maybe take one more shot, but clock's ticking. About 10 seconds left in the half, and I think they're going to be satisfied now with this lead. That's the second time Leander's gotten pressure on Boris here on this drive. So let's keep everybody healthy and get to the half. And that brings us to the halftime. With your Georgetown Eagles leading 42-9, we are at the half, and we will take a quick break here in just a couple of seconds, but lots to talk about when we come back. Folks, we're going to break down what happened in the first half, and then the second half of the halftime Pro Glass halftime show, we're going to show you the Georgetown Eagle Marching Band as a part of the halftime show. But we will be right back with the Pro Glass halftime show. Stick with us, folks, here on SHN Sports. This is Georgetown Eagle football. Our halftime shows this season are presented by Pro Glass of Georgetown. If your car, RV, or heavy equipment needs glass to be replaced, Pro Glass can get the job done in no time. Our local, family-owned business stands behind its work with a limited lifetime warranty for as long as you own the car. We are the Central Texas choice for RV, heavy equipment, and auto glass since 1998. Windshield chip repairs in under 30 minutes, no appointment necessary. Visit our website at www.proglasstx.com or call 512-930-1365. Welcome back to the GISD Athletic Complex, the JCT Memorial Broadcast booth brought to you by JMTs. And we are at the Pro Glass halftime show, and Holden has sent us some statistics from the first half. In the first half, Noah Boris was 11 for 14, 219 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a perfect QBR in the first half. Well, now he's actually up 12 of 15, 226 yards, 4 TDs, still a perfect QBR. Dickman has 4 receptions, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. Andrew Petter, he's only got 5 carries, only has 51 yards, and only has 2 touchdowns. What is that kid doing?
Only 10 yards a carry. That
Right.
disappointment.
We are at the Pro Glass halftime here at GISD Athletic Complex. It is homecoming tonight, so we will show the homecoming festivities at the half and let you hear the homecoming king and queen announced. So the band will march after. I imagine they'll do their contest show after the game, and we may have to ask permission to stick around and show the band, but we'll see if they'll let us stay because they start shutting down the press box.
Yeah,
they want to go home.
I'm smiling here to myself because the football parents all think everybody's here to watch football. The band parents all think everybody's here just to watch halftime of the band, and it always kind of cracked me up. Listening to them, not go back and forth, but.
So when we talk about the first half, we each talked about what Georgetown was going to have to do to win this game, what Leander was going to have to do to win this game. And, Nate, you said at the very beginning Georgetown's going to have to run the ball, but they've come out throwing the ball. And I think that has really taken the Leander defensive coaching staff by surprise that they haven't leaned so heavily on the run, and I think it's thrown them off.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I know that Leander thought they had a pretty good defense. We talked about statistics at the beginning of the game. They'd only given up 30 points a game. I don't think they thought that they were going to be susceptible to the big play. I think they thought that they were going to make Georgetown drive a little bit, and I think the big play is kind of taking them out of their game plan, because it's not like we're not running the ball well when you go back to 5 carries for 51 yards.
Right.
I mean, nobody's going to turn down 10 yards a pop.
Well, and there's been some receivers come across that have run the ball. Who else ran the ball? Somebody else ran the ball. Cody Holubek has run the ball a couple of times. Probably close to 100 yards rushing the ball, but Noah Boris running this offense tonight has looked like he has started at quarterback on varsity for 8 years.
Yeah, and we talked about it. It looks like every game he's getting a little more comfortable, and they talked about him being kind of a natural athlete that could probably go out there and play shortstop for obviously a fantastic baseball team,
right.
And fit right in. And, to his credit, he's done just that and been very, very impressed. And even talking about Hollybeck, you've got 2 quarterbacks you trust. You've got, 2 running backs I think you could lean on if you had to. He'll
right.
close out a game if he's got to. And you don't have to change what you do if you have either one of those guys in there, which, I know from a coaching perspective is huge.
Well, and tonight has been interesting because we're constantly calling Marquise Dominguez. We're constantly calling Drayden Dickman. We're constantly calling Andrew Petter in the previous games. But tonight we're calling some names that
Absolutely.
we haven't really seen. And I don't know that it's necessarily that Leander has shut down those other guys. I think it's intentional that they're going to some receivers and some people running the football that they haven't targeted earlier in the year. And I think that's another thing that has caused Leander defense some issues.
Right. Yeah, you game plan to stop certain guys and then, saying if those other guys can beat us, let them beat us. And they've done a great job of that tonight. I was kind of smiling to myself a little bit earlier because Weston Bruce has had a huge first half, but a lot of it is just, we started kind of running the RPO a little bit in 12, but really embraced it in 2013. And what he's hit tonight is kind of one of the alpha orientation of it, but before it's gotten involved in craziness and you're reading this, that, and the other. I mean, simple, a little stop route, reading the outside linebacker, and that's about as simple as the RPO started.
And he had a pretty good quarterback last year to watch.
Yeah, yes, yeah. and then you get empty and do some of that run game, too, with Darson. So
Well, and on that last drive, Georgetown didn't really go anywhere, but that last drive was kind of indicative of the success that Georgetown has had because we saw Dickman make a double move, and it took like an hour, 15 hour, 20 minutes for him to get to the end of the route, and Boris had time.
Yes.
Leander finally got some pressure on him on the last 2 plays where he dropped back, but
and one thing that was a little bit different when they got pressure is they went to kind of their sprint out protection. When he's dropped straight back, they've done a fantastic job of holding up, and it was sprint out, something that they haven't done much of. That every offensive line and team is a little bit different. Some years we're really good at sprinting out. Some years we're better at dropping back, and I think that was a little bit different. And whether it be an offensive line, quarterback, receivers, there's a lot of moving parts there where a lot of times you put the blame at somebody's foot that may or may not be the case. But, had they wanted to, had a little more time, something tells me they probably could have found a way to get out of 2nd and 20, whatever it was.
how bad would you like to be calling the plays tonight?
Oh, it would be easy tonight. This is one of those where anything's working, stay ahead of the chains. And, if we're not careful, we may jinx Coach Flores and have him call the plays in the second half.
He called that one run play where Petter ran it right up the middle for a touchdown.
Hey.
So what's it's 42-9. Leander's down by 32 points. What are those coaches telling those kids in that locker room right now?
It is. And Leander?
Yeah.
Keep fighting. Keep fighting.
Is it where you approach the second half by saying, look, forget that first half. Let's go out, win the second half. Let's put more points on the board. We got to build for the rest of the season because if they take this loss, it's going to be hard for Leander to get into the playoffs with 3 losses.
There are no 33-point plays is the first thing you tell them. So it's going to be a little bit here, a little bit there, chip away, go out and have small successes, win your individual battle, win your individual play, and hopefully if you do enough of that, you can kind of string some of those together. But if nothing else, go build, find some success, find something you can build off of. You got to convince your kids to keep fighting,
right.
And the other thing too is not, which I know, we can be guilty of at times. Don't let it get chippy. Don't let that evolve into, extracurriculars and things like that. So
well, and it's funny that you say that because that's one of the things that I started thinking about because whenever a score gets kind of out of hand like this, then these kids can start getting a little upset. They're kids,
right?
So.
Right.
They have some pride as well.
And for better or for worse, I love all the knuckleheads I've coached over the years, but it seems like we've had a handful that a little more prone to the yellow hankies than others, and you just want to clean that up, get out of here, injury free, no stupid penalties. And
so, what are the Georgetown coaches telling their kids at the half?
0-0. keep your pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
And one drive, two drives, and then you tell the guys that are going to be stepping up after that, be ready. You're making sure that everybody is locked in on the adjustments. Things go according to plan. They did in the first half. Hopefully they do in the second half. If you get off to the same kind of start, starters maybe get, 2-3 drives, maybe get to the start of the fourth quarter, depending on what it looks like, and you got to have your twos ready. And it's a great opportunity to get them some reps as you plan for later on in the season.
Well, and last week we saw something really similar because Georgetown had a pretty good lead at the half. So I would anticipate that when they come out of the second half, the starters may get that first series and they may not see the field the rest of the night.
Right. Very similar. 70 last week, 42 this week. It's good problems to have from an offensive standpoint for sure. But like I said, you want to get those younger guys and some of those backups some reps too, so that further down the line they're ready to roll, they're battle tested, and that's really and truly that's kind of what separates your great programs from your good programs is just the ability to get second, third, fourth team guys reps, whether it be practice, whether it be deep playoff runs, whether it be halftime and letting them play a second half.
Yeah, folks, we're here at the Pro Glass halftime show. The Georgetown Eagles are leading the Leander Lions 42-9 at the half. Stick with us. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back with the homecoming festivities for Georgetown tonight. This is SHN Sports, Georgetown Eagle football. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Our halftime shows this season are presented by Pro Glass of Georgetown. If your car, RV, or heavy equipment needs glass to be replaced, Pro Glass can get the job done in no time. Our local, family-owned business stands behind its work with a limited lifetime warranty for as long as you own the car. We are the Central Texas choice for RV, heavy equipment, and auto glass since 1998. Windshield chip repairs in under 30 minutes, no appointment necessary. Visit our website at www.proglasstx.com or call 512-930-1365.
We are back on the Pro Glass halftime show. We appreciate you joining us here on SHN Sports for Georgetown Eagle football. We are going to let you guys listen to the remainder of the Leander Band halftime and watch the festivities for Georgetown halftime. So thanks for sticking with us. We are about 16 and a half minutes from the second half kickoff. Stick with us here on the Pro Glass halftime show.
It is with the greatest of pleasure that I introduce you to the award-winning Sweethearts of Georgetown, the Georgettes. The Georgette officers are Lieutenant Reese Bradford, First Lieutenant Julia Vickers, and in the center, your 2022-2023 Georgette captain. The Georgette socials are Addison Rodriguez, Abby Toole, and Peyton Tuttle. Social butterfly is Layden Bina. Officer's Choice of the Week is Caitlin Lindell, and the Georgette of the Week is Haley Warren. The Georgettes would like to dedicate this performance to the students and staff of Georgetown High School. Thank you for all the support you have given us this year. We appreciate you. And now, watch the Georgettes as they perform their annual traditional kick routine to this classic song from Rocky, featuring trumpet soloist Jay McIntyre. Gonna Fly Now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in celebration of our annual Georgetown High School homecoming, please help us welcome our 2022 homecoming court and their escorts. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The Georgettes are under the direction of Ms. Nikki Prosser. Our 2022 Homecoming King nominees are Wyatt Beach, escorted by his mother, Lori Sutton. Jude Greco, escorted by his mother, Ronnie Greco. Eli Hellman, escorted by his mother, Jen Hellman. Ryoshi Oliveros, escorted by his mother, Sheila Riesler. Now, please welcome our 2022 Homecoming Queen nominees. Sydney Harbers, escorted by her mother, Tabitha Harbers. Kim Salazar, escorted by her sister, Sage Salazar. Ali Seaback, escorted by her father, Doug Seaback. Kate Stengel, escorted by her father, Tim Stengel. At this time, please welcome our 2021 Homecoming King and Queen, Jake Anderson and Ella Vickers. Jake and Ella will be crowning our 2022 King and Queen. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a thunderous round of applause for our 2022 Georgetown High School Homecoming King, Wyatt Beach. Congratulations, Wyatt. And introducing our 2022 Georgetown High School Homecoming Queen, Ali Seaback. Congratulations, Ali. And one more time, please join me in congratulating our 2022 Homecoming King and Queen, Wyatt Beach and Ali Seaback. Congratulations, Wyatt and Ali. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure to stay after the game and watch the Eagle Band and Color Guard perform the first full show performance of 2022. And remember, Eagle Fight never dies.
We welcome you back to the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagles broadcast, the Pro Glass halftime show. And we are going to take one quick break, and then we'll come back, get ready for the second half kickoff. Stick with us, folks, here on SHN Sports. This is Georgetown Eagles football.
The JCT broadcast booth is sponsored by JMT's in Round Rock. JMT's provides customized apparel and promotional items to small businesses, schools, and nonprofit organizations. Our services include screen printing, embroidery, and promotional items. Our game-changing direct-to-film printing allows JMT's to print full-color graphics on your garments. JMT's has the experience and confidence to take on any order. Visit our website at jmts.com or call us at 512-388-5555. Our halftime shows this season are presented by Pro Glass of Georgetown. If your car, RV, or heavy equipment needs glass to be replaced, Pro Glass can get the job done in no time. Our local family-owned business stands behind its work with a limited lifetime warranty for as long as you own the car. We are the Central Texas choice for RV, heavy equipment, and auto glass since 1998. Windshield chip repairs in under 30 minutes, no appointment necessary. Visit our website at www.proglasstx.com or call 512-930-1365.
We welcome you back to the GISD Athletic Complex in Birkelbach Field. This is Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports. Your halftime score is Georgetown Eagles 42 and the Leander Lions 9. Teams are about to take the field for the second half. Nate, what do we do in the second half?
You try to get back and duplicate the first half. I mean, that went about as good as it could have, pretty much scripted. You know, I think you come out wanting to win the first two possessions for sure, like we touched on. And then I think you have points of emphasis, things that you want to work on in the second half to try and improve. Hopefully the game stays, arm's length at least. And you just, you have kind of a laundry list, so to speak, things you want to clean up, maybe have a few extra points of emphasis, whether it be tackling, whether it be executing a certain block or a certain play. Try to take little things that you can add to build on the big.
Or those pre-snap penalties that we were talking about a little bit before. They make coaches insane.
Play a smart second half, yes.
So, there's some backslapping going on in the Georgetown locker room. There may be some heads ducked. But Leander is going to come out in the second half playing hard.
Yep, back against the wall. Like we touched on, they may be playing for their playoff life here, so to speak. And, you got to come out and take a first punch. And homecoming halftimes are always a little bit unique, too, because they're a little bit longer. You got to keep that sense of urgency up and try to, match intensity or even better set the tone.
I do want to kind of apologize for something. I'm Kelly DeVoll. I'm your play-by-play guy tonight. Next to me is Nathanial Funk with Edward Jones, and we're going to be talking a lot about him during this third quarter. Got Dave England up here in the booth with us as well, and our producer, Jerry Ann Harmon. Wally Harmon is actually in Las Vegas at a law enforcement softball tournament, so we wish them the best. And Wally will be back in the booth with us next week doing his normal play-by-play duties. With that, Wally is really good at keeping track of the plays, and I am not. So my apologies, but the Eagle Booster Club sponsors our recaps, and some of the recaps have been really easy, but the Georgetown Eagle Booster Club recap of the second half is we've put a lot of points on the board, a lot of yards passing. The running game hasn't been what it typically is, but it hasn't had to be.
Right.
I'm going to guess you're going to see a lot of running in the second half by this Eagle football team.
And here are 4 really good running backs that we got to see last week.
Yeah.
We got a whole stable back there.
Right. Like I said, great opportunity to build some depth.
We are going to have to check the roster a lot in the second half, I believe. So Leander starts this half with the ball, and if they put points on the board, that foot's not coming off the accelerator.
Right. And again, you want to come out, stop last drive of the first half, stop first drive of the second half,
right.
And you feel really good on defense. But this is a, Coach Nicky's going to want to see a stop here for sure.
Well, it is time for the Syntex Shirt and Embroidery kickoff for the second half. That will bring us into the Nathanial Funk Edward Jones third quarter.
This is like being in the Spider-Man multiverse.
And the kick is deep and fielded at about the 5-yard line. Ball carrier brings it up to the 20, 25, gets across the 25 to about the 27-yard line, and he is forced out of bounds there. And that is number 10, Kyle Lavin. Tackles made by Garrett Lloyd, number 16, and that is the beginning of our second half here in the Nathanial Funk Edward Jones third quarter.
That's a mouthful. I'm glad you're saying it, not me. That's a really good play there by Garrett Lloyd coming over the top of that, and that's 5 yards more towards the center of the field makes a big difference in that kickoff and the return there. Not getting it pinned to the sideline.
Cameron Berkman back in the shotgun formation. He takes a snap and hands it off to Stout. Stout goes over the left side and gets up to about the 30-yard line for a decent gain on first down.
That's a good tackle by Scholes coming up from the safety position, making stop and counter 4 yards deep. That's a wrinkle play we haven't seen yet. And good read by Thomas Scholes.
We saw Logan Mitchell in at quarterback, sophomore quarterback for Leander earlier in the game, but Berkman's back out there to start the second half. Berkman's back with Stout at his right. Takes a snap, hands the ball to Stout. Stout starts over the left side, breaks a tackle or two, and is able to get across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. That's going to bring up third down and 3.
Looks like Leander's come out to run a little counter, kind of the third iteration, so to speak, of what we've seen. And
Berkman back in shotgun. Sorry about that. Bergman's back in shotgun, fakes the snap, trying to draw the Eagles offside. Stout in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to the right, 2 out to the left. Stout steps back after he gets the signals from the sideline.
Good job staying home.
Snap goes back, hands the ball to Stout. Stout's able to lean forward, take a ball carrier or defender with him. Daniel Obina is able to make the stop, but not before they gain the first down.
And that's okay. They came out and, like I said, showed just something a little bit different than you saw in the first half. Hopefully now you make some adjustments. You've seen maybe what they're trying to do in the second half, a little bit different than the first half.
First and 10 for the Leander Lions at their own 37-yard line. 10:20 left in the Nathanial Funk Edward Jones third quarter. Looks like our guy may be lined up off sides a little bit, but no flag.
Got away with that.
Ball goes out and it's picked off. The interception is made by Jacob Faltasek, and he's able to bring the ball back. That's the third turnover by the Georgetown defense tonight. Faltasek brings the ball back to the 37-yard line. He's shoved out of bounds there. And another turnover for this Eagle defense.
Dave, that's exactly what you called for earlier. You dropped right underneath that out route, and that was it. So, step one, you got what you wanted to see. You got the stop. Turnover even better. Now come out. Looks like Petter's not even getting the start here in the second half, so he's not maybe done.
Nope, Petter's not back there, and now we've got number 26 back in the backfield. That's Cody Holyebeck. He's going to get a chance. 2 receivers out to the right. Noah Boris is still back in at quarterback. Tosses the ball back to Holyebeck. He's wrapped up in the backfield, but able to lean forward, back to the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Eagles at the 37-yard line.
Never fun when you're an offensive lineman and you get up trailing the play.
No.
That usually is a good indicator that might have been your guy that made the play.
Marquise Dominguez and Weston Bruce out left. Dickman out to the right. Boris in the backfield with Holyebeck.
Again, lots of space down here in the slot.
Snap goes back to Boris, and he's looking deep. He's got Dominguez. Oh, and he makes the catch.
Great play.
Marquise makes a beautiful catch, a lot of concentration, great focus, and he's able to haul the pass in. And that's a touchdown on the third play of this drive for your Georgetown Eagles with 9:17 left in the Nathanial Funk Edward Jones third quarter. And that brings the score to 48-9, Georgetown.
That ball went right through the defender's hands, and Marquise had the wherewithal to focus like that and
go high point it. And safety froze just a little bit. Maybe took a couple.
Aaron Guzman is able to convert on the G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point. G-Town Lumber and Supply, 9400 Brown Lane in Austin, Texas. Hometown service like none other. gtownlumberandsupply.com, and that brings the score to your Georgetown Eagles 49 and the Leander Lions 9 with 9:17 left in the Nathanial Funk Edward Jones third quarter. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stick with us here on SHN Sports. The third quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Nathanial Funk, your Leander, Georgetown, Edward Jones financial advisor at 1640 Highland Falls Drive, Suite 801, Leander, Texas, 78641. Learn how he can help you with your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com/Nathanial Funk for more. We welcome you back to the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagles broadcast. We haven't had a lot of opportunity because the length of some of these scoring drives are going through, but the Smoothie King red zone gets passed through on the way to the end zone for the Georgetown Eagles. Smoothie King at Wolf Ranch, blending goodness to fuel your greatness, and it is time for the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff. Whether you need one shirt or 100, there are no minimum order amounts on any custom pieces. Call or stop by 1911 North Austin Avenue in Georgetown. Syntex shirt and embroidery, or syntexshirt.com. Ball falls off the tee, so Aaron Guzman goes and replaces it so that he can deliver the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff with a 40-point lead.
We talked about coming out in the second half just like he did in the first half and setting a tone. And, boy, they did a great job of doing both of those things earlier.
Oh, I thought he touched that ball. The ball actually scoots out of bounds there. I thought the up man had touched it, but apparently not.
That's what the coaches are arguing for down there.
Yep. And I think they're going to have a conversation about that. If they did, then that ball is dead right there at the 3-yard line.
You know, you don't win that argument very often.
Right.
You advocate, but.
Well, and I think Coach Griffin and the referee tonight are having conversations about maybe holiday vacations. And
Right. At a certain point, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
A game like this.
I used to think it was recipe exchanges that were taking place, but I think now it's more along the lines of some trips. So the Lions come out. They have the ball at the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, 9:17 left here in the Nathanial Funk Edward Jones third quarter.
And the booth is rocking.
Berkman back, takes a snap, hands it off up the middle. Stout's able to cross to about the 34-yard line, which is going to bring up 2nd and 6.
It looks like they're mixing in some new bodies there on defense as well. You know, it's a good way to kind of ease into it, put some of your primary backups in with some starters, and then you can kind of mix and match from there.
Berkman back in shotgun, takes a snap and hands it off to Stout, and he is wrapped up immediately by Jude Greco, which is not a name that we have called. If this were a grass and dirt field, these uniforms would be crystal clear and nice and clean because we're seeing a lot of faces in there that aren't super familiar.
I can tell you they're much dirtier than they look. Having been on the laundry side of that, there's much more grease and grime than it looks like.
That ground rubber leaves some.
That was a heck of a play by Jude there. He did a great job penetrating, and he's got his body language. You can tell he's fired up.
That brings 3rd and 7 with the ball at the 33-yard line of Leander. Berkman back in shotgun, takes a snap and rolls out to his left. He's rolling out looking for a receiver. He doesn't have anybody, so he tucks the ball and starts up the field, but it's well covered by the Eagles. He gets back to about the line of scrimmage, so that's going to bring up a 4th down and about 6 or 7 yards.
He was able to get around the left because that one fella coming around the corner was held by 2 offensive linemen.
Brandon Stovall's pleading his case. Hey, I'm getting held here. Threw up the universal sign of the hold hand.
Yeah.
Well, and on their second possession, Leander wasn't able to do anything with the football, so whatever adjustments they had planned at the half have not worked out because of the adjustments that Georgetown makes for this second half. So the Leander Lions line up as if they're going to punt the football. Ivan Rodriguez back to receive the snap. Gets the kick away. End-over-end kick, and it is fair caught at the 35-yard line by Drayden Dickman. So with 7:55 left in the Nathanial Funk Edward Jones third quarter, Georgetown leads 49-9 over the Leander Lions. We'll take a quick break, and we will be right back here at GISD Athletic Complex.
Extra points and field goals this season are brought to you by G-Town Lumber and Supply. G-Town Lumber and Supply, located at 9400 Brown Lane in Austin, Texas, serves general contractors, subcontractors, and the do-it-yourselfers. We specialize in dimensional lumber, decking, siding, doors and windows, hand-hewn timbers, KDAT lumber, and corbels. Visit us at 9400 Brown Lane in Austin, Texas.
Boris on the keeper, and he goes across the left side. He gets up to midfield for a smoothie king. No, wait. Borrow from Morrow. First down. Sorry, I got the sponsors mixed up, but Boris took the snap, and I think it was an intentional. No, that's not Boris. Yeah, it was Noah. All right.
With any kind of luck, you're just playing the game too soon, and we're about to be in the Smoothie King red zone.
Yes. Hopefully. So the ball's at midfield, 1st and 10 for the Eagles, 7:23 left in the quarter. Boris in the backfield sends Hollyback over to his right side. Now multiple guys in motion. They get set. One receiver out wide right. Receiver on the left goes in motion. And not really what was drawn up by Coach Beatty.
It looked like it was going to be a pretty fun
yes,
play.
It did.
And, whoops.
they were out leveraged.
A lot of stuff going on there.
It happens sometimes when you got, guys that aren't used to the exchange, different ball handlers, maybe, comes at a different angle. Lots of things can happen on the exchange, and you spend a lot of time practicing that. And guys that don't do that as often can create issues.
That brings up 2nd and 17. The ball is at the Georgetown 43-yard line. 3 receivers to the left and a tight end over on the left. Hollyback in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. Starts up the middle, but he cuts back out to the right. Stiff arms the guy, crosses the 40, 35-30, 25-20, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 17-yard line. What a great run by Hollyback. Nice stiff arm there, and I love seeing a running back shove somebody to the ground.
I've seen enough of Cody to know that he's we're in good hands when the backups are in there, too.
And that's a borrow from Morrow, first down in the Smoothie King red zone.
Told you.
There's our Smoothie King, Smoothie King of Wolf Ranch. Blending goodness to fuel your greatness. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line in the Smoothie King red zone. 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
And I really like some of the things the offense has done on this drive to create some leverage mismatches and take advantage of numbers.
And these are quality plays that some of these backups are getting.
Absolutely.
Handoff goes to Weston Bruce. He's able to gain a couple of yards. So that's going to bring up second here. They mark him down after a yard gain. That's going to bring up 2nd and 9 at the 15-yard line of Leander. A little while ago, number 88 went into motion, and I would tell you who that was, but he's not on the roster. Handoff goes to Hollyback. He goes across the left side. He's across the 10,
nice blue wave to ride right
and
there.
Down close to the goal line. Referee says he is in, and Cody Hollyback totes the rock across the goal line to give the Eagles a 55-9 lead with the extra point pending.
Whenever you've got a wall of linemen 10 yards downfield out in front of you, you feel pretty good about what you got going on there. Yeah. And I know Coach Bond used to tell his guys on the offensive line, you score, we score, and there were a handful of them scored on that one.
Brings up the G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point attempt. Aaron Guzman on for the attempt. Hollyback on the hold. Snap is back and down. Kick is up. And the G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point is good, but there's some extracurricular activity that's going to draw a flag.
Have we kicked an extra point tonight without a flag? It seems like there's just about every single extra point.
It seems like. I think this is going to be after the fact, and Georgetown may be kicking this ball from about their Leander 45-yard line. If I'm right that this was a unsportsmanlike or unnecessary roughness after the play. Here's the call. All right, so it was not after, it was during the play. So that penalty is declined. Extra point is good, and that brings the score to 56-9. Georgetown over the Leander Lions with 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the Nathanial Funk, Edward Jones third quarter.
That like a cringe every time. I don't know why.
I do not, because there was money well spent.
Indeed.
for me to say that. And we appreciate it. We really do, Nate.
No, like I said, I talked earlier, I appreciate all the sponsors because I've been able to watch pretty much every Friday night since I stepped away 5 seasons ago, so it's much appreciated.
Well, and we have people watching from all across the country, and we appreciate everybody tuning in. It's time for the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff, and they are getting their money's worth tonight because this is kickoff number 9.
Yeah.
8 after touchdowns and 1 at the half. So kickoff number 9, the Syntex, I guess they did enforce it. So Georgetown, the penalty was after the play. So Georgetown is going to be kicking this ball from the Leander 45-yard line on the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff.
That's one of the things we talked about coming out is just keeping your composure on both sides and trying to avoid that, knucklehead penalty. And hopefully we don't go out and retaliate.
I hope he kicks this one to the field house.
Thinking touchback.
There we go. And that ball from Aaron Guzman goes out of the end zone. So Leander will start at their 25-yard line. We appreciate everybody tuning in on YouTube, watching SHN Sports presentation of Georgetown Eagle football. Leander has the ball with 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. And they will start at their own 25-yard line. The last scoring drive had several plays that went for many yards. And it is the recap of that drive that I couldn't keep track of. It's brought to you by the Eagle Football Boosters, and we appreciate their support. Snap goes back. Number 6 back in there. And and it just dropped. Who was that?
33.
Justin Martinez, whose name we have not called a lot, dropped a
He
touchdown.
had visions of the end zone.
Yeah, now back in quarterback is Logan Mitchell, the sophomore. Well, he was in on that throw, but now Berkman is back in at quarterback.
You know, if you see something there with the sophomore, let him play, let him cut his teeth at this point. No, you got nothing to lose.
Down 47 points, let that kid get some snaps, but Berkman back in shotgun. Has Stout off to his left, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Drops straight back, and he's looking for a receiver over the middle. Ball is completed at the 22-yard line, able to get the ball up to the 23-yard line. That's Aiden Salazar on the reception, number 2. Aiden is the senior wide receiver for Leander. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
Good job by the defense of just getting hats to the football. 3 or 4 guys were there to make the play initially, and then another 2 or 3 came to clean it up.
4 minutes, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Nathanial Funk, Edward Jones, third quarter.
Got to think, watch, looking for 14. Aiden Parker down here. Yep. He's made some plays tonight.
Berkman looks to the sideline to get the call. Lets his lineman know what the call is. 2 receivers right, 3 left. Empty backfield. Berkman takes a snap. Quick swing pass out that's batted at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete. The intended receiver was number 10, Kyle Lavin. And on the defense,
number 15
was number 15, Omarion Lucas. So another name that we haven't called a lot. And that brings up a 4th down and 4, and Leander brings out the punt team.
So you've got the replacements out there, the seconds, and they get a stop. That's not too bad.
Yeah, defensive line's licking their chops at this point. They're making lots of plays and getting some 4-man pass rush.
Most of the players on the field for the Eagles have not started to sweat yet. Kick is away. And a fair catch made at the 35-yard line of Georgetown by Drayden Dickman. So with 3:56 left in the Nathaniel Funk Edward Jones third quarter, Georgetown leads 56-9. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back right after these messages. The third quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Nathaniel Funk, your Leander, Georgetown, Edward Jones financial advisor at 1640 Highland Falls Drive, Suite 801, Leander, Texas, 78641. Learn how he can help you with your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com. So we're back here at GISD Athletic Complex. Handoff goes to, is that Petter back in there?
That's Holybeck.
Oh, Holybeck. And look at Holybeck driving his legs, and he keeps going, gets a little help. Little friendly shove from Weston Bruce to gain a couple more yards, but a gain of 15 yards by Holuback on the carry there. And that puts the Eagles into right at midfield for a borrow from Morrow first down.
In Holuback is doing a fantastic job of what we used to just say, run the color. You know, follow your lineman, sticking his foot in the ground, cutting it back at the right opportunity. And
Boris takes the snap, hands it to Holuback again. He takes off to the right side, but he's wrapped up pretty quickly. Only a gain of about 2 yards down to the Leander 48-yard line.
Yeah, that last first down, thanks to number 77 and 72, they should get some credit for that.
It'll be fun to watch O-line film tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
Ian Sanders and Logan Gegelman shoving blue jerseys down the field.
Indeed, and that's typically they're a little different up front.
Mongo-like physical. Holuback off to the right of Boris. Boris takes a snap and hands it to Holuback. A big hole off the left side, and he's across the 35 down to the 31-yard line, 30-yard line, and that is a borrow from Morrow first down for your mortgage needs. Remember, Matt Morrow, borrow from Morrow, borrowfrommorrow.com, and they are sniffing the Smoothie King red zone.
One of the things that's been really impressive in this second half is they're not making contact until 8-10 yards down the field. Then Holuback's keeping his legs driving.
That offensive line is doing a great job tonight.
They are.
Fakes the handoff to Holuback, overthrows the receiver, and that was number 80. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, number 80, Dax Lambright, the intended receiver. But the pass just a little too tall for Dax to be able to reel it in, so that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
First time they've asked Nick to throw one in a while. He got a little out of rhythm.
Yeah, he's cooled down now. Clock is running, 2:05 left in the third quarter.
And good leverage, and they're just not making any adjustments.
Holuback takes the handoff, starts to the left, cuts back to the right a little bit, and goes up the hash mark. Nice run there for a gain of about 15 yards, which brings up another borrow from Morrow first down in the Smoothie King red zone. Smoothie King at Wolf Ranch, blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Smoothie King located at Wolf Ranch Town Center in Georgetown. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the Leander 15-yard line. A minute and a half left in the third quarter.
One of the things I'm having to do with the camera work here is give them plenty of running room.
Yes.
And you're doing a phenomenal job, Doppler Dave. Holuback again takes a handoff. Starts off to the right, but cuts back to the left. Is able to get across the 10-yard line, down inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line, which is going to bring up 2nd and 2 in the Smoothie King red zone. 1 minute, 8 seconds left. Clock is running. 2nd and 2 for the Eagles. Holuback looking out to the sideline to figure out which hole he's going to be assigned to run through.
This is one of those where you start reaching into the grab bag and see who you might want to get a touchdown here in the red zone.
I think Cody deserves one. Holuback moves over to the right side of Boris. 3 receivers to the right. Holuback takes the handoff, goes over the left side and gets inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line, and that's enough for a 1st and goal. Borrow from Morrow first down. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line, 26 seconds left in the Nathaniel Funk, Edward Jones third quarter.
I reckon they're just going to let this one wind down to the fourth quarter. And one of the things that was interesting there while we got a little time is they've done such a good job of keeping Leander off balance in a number of situations, putting 4 receivers in a blocking surface to one side of the field. Leander was slow to adjust. That time they adjusted, and then they came back and ran it weak for the first down. That was an interesting little wrinkle.
Well, Nate, you don't have to hear your name anymore because that takes us to the end.
I appreciate it. No, I appreciate it.
Nathaniel Funk, Edward Jones, third quarter. That takes us to the fourth quarter. Your Eagles lead the Lions 56-9. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back for the Minuteman Press fourth quarter in just a few minutes. Stick with us, folks, here on SHN Sports.
The fourth quarter sponsor for this season is Minuteman Press Georgetown. Minuteman Press Georgetown is your one-stop print shop. From business cards to signage and now turnkey mailing solutions for flyers, postcards, bulk mailing, and more. Minuteman Press Georgetown can help bring exposure to your business. For more information, visit mmpptx.com.
Welcome back to the GISD Athletic Complex at Birkelbach Field. The Eagles begin the Minuteman Press fourth quarter up on the Leander Lions 56-9. And the fight song that you heard us come back to has been played many times tonight. Absolutely dominating performance by the Eagles. They've got backups in now, and they are first and goal at the 4-yard line inside the Smoothie King red zone. And a borrow from Morrow first down and goal at the Leander 4-yard line.
So got a new quarterback in.
Who is that?
Can't tell.
32.
Oh, nice pick of the snap. Tosses it to Holyback. He
cut.
goes right
Good
up the
feet.
middle, dances around into the end zone for the touchdown. And Holyback scores his touchdown with some help from the big boys up front. That makes the score 62-9 with 11:49 left here in the Minuteman Press fourth quarter. The G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point coming up next. Aaron Guzman on, waiting for Noah Boris, who was having a sandwich and some chips on the sideline. Maybe a little popcorn, some nachos, hanging out on the sideline. Boris in to hold. Aaron Guzman on for the G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it is good. And there are no flags on the play.
Noah's lucky they didn't have to use a timeout there.
Yeah.
That could have been really bad for young Noah. They had to call a timeout right there to get him on the field.
So with 11 minutes and 49 seconds left in the Minuteman Press fourth quarter, Georgetown leads 63-9. Some stats in from our guy Holden Tuma. Holyback 10 carries, 119 yards, 1 touchdown. Well, check that. Now 11 carries, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Holyback. So a pretty stinking good night. And there is our buddy Curtis giving us some love over the PA. Thank you, Curtis. We appreciate the support and all they do for us to help us bring these broadcasts to you. This is a beautiful, beautiful facility. If you are not in the state of Texas, you're probably not playing in a high school stadium this nice. Maybe they do build them in other states, but this is a beautiful facility. And the GISD athletic staff and everybody makes us feel at home, feel like part of the team.
Leander band's hitting the road.
Oh, they take off. So yeah,
We're out.
they got a slumber party or something to be in. It brings on the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff. Whether you need 1 shirt or 100, there are no minimum order amounts on any custom pieces. Call or stop by 1911 North Austin Avenue in Georgetown. www.syntexshirt.com. We are broadcasting from the JCT Memorial Broadcast booth, brought to you by JMTs. Visit jmts.com for your printing niche, embroidery, and some other stuff too. Aaron Guzman on for the kick. Syntex shirt and embroidery kick, and the kick is fielded at about the 9-yard line. Bobbled a little bit, but the carrier comes out, and he's got a hole up the middle. He's across the 40 to the 45 to the midfield, sheds a Guzman tackle, and gets down to the Georgetown 45-yard line. So I think this is the best starting position tonight for the Leander Lions.
By about 30 yards, I think.
I think
You
so.
know what? Credit to Guzman. He earned it enough to slow him down there and you know, didn't necessarily make the tackle himself, but did enough to get him on the ground.
From the Georgetown side, Aaron did a good job of slowing him down and keeping him from scoring. From the Leander side, at least he didn't get tackled by the kicker.
Right.
So it's a win-win. So Leander starts at the Eagle 45-yard line. Snap is bobbled. Ball is picked up, and quarterback is absolutely smacked by Garrett Lloyd, number 16. Great tackle out there.
Yes, he was shot out of a cannon on that one.
Bergman was absolutely mauled.
Thought he had some space until he didn't.
Good, yeah. I thought it was going to be 7 or 8 yard gain, but it was stopped at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd and 10 with 11 minutes left.
I see what you did there. A lion got mauled.
Well, you know.
Low-hanging fruit.
It's what I do.
Didn't call PETA, though.
Not yet. Give me a minute. 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line of Georgetown. Bergman back, takes a snap back. He's looking across the middle, has a receiver who looked away from the ball. You got to watch that ball all the way in. Augustus Bayarina, unable to make the catch. Took his eyes off the ball. That's simple stuff. Hit him right in the hands.
That's a game like this, you talk about losing focus and one play at a time and building on those little things, and that's, one of those things that did not get accomplished on that play.
So that brings up 3rd and 10 at the Eagle 45-yard line.
Keep fighting. That's
yep.
If you're on the Leander sideline, that's all you're asking. Keep battling, and if you're on the Georgetown sideline, be assignment sound. Make sure you're in the position you're supposed to be in.
Berkman swings the pass out to number 10, and he just runs right between 2 Georgetown defenders. Kyle Lavin able to not even be touched out there on the edge, and he scores. And that's good for Leander. These kids are still fighting. They still care.
He's had a good night. He's made some plays out there. He's fast. I mean, he can run a little bit. Looks like he's got some strength in those legs. And
have you ever heard of the broadcaster's curse?
Yes, exactly. I was the jinx right there for sure.
Yeah. Folks, that's
keep
Nate
playing hard,
Funk.
but not that hard.
That's Nate Funk bringing you points for the Leander line. Snap is back, kick is up, and the extra point is good for Leander. And that makes the scores Georgetown 63, Leander 16 with 10:07 left in the Minuteman Press 4th quarter. We'll take a break, be right back for the kickoff right after this.
The JCT broadcast booth is sponsored by JMT's in Round Rock. JMT's provides customized apparel and promotional items to small businesses, schools, and nonprofit organizations. Our services include screen printing, embroidery, and promotional items. Our game-changing direct-to-film printing allows JMT's to print full-color graphics on your garments. JMT's has the experience and confidence to take on any order. Visit our website at jmts.com or call us at 512-388-5555.
Welcome back to the JCT Memorial Broadcast Booth, brought to you by JMT's here at GISD Athletic Complex in beautiful Georgetown, Texas, on a beautiful night for high school football here in the state of Texas. Your score, Georgetown 63, Leander 16. 10:07 left in the Minuteman Press 4th quarter. I'm Kelly DeVoll, play-by-play tonight. Wally Harmon will be back next week. Beside me is Nate Funk. We appreciate Nate coming in tonight. I've had a blast with you, Nate. Doppler Dave England on the camera and a microphone over there, and Jerry Ann Harmon, our producer, doing a fabulous job of keeping me in line.
And Holden, telecommuting.
And Holden, Holden working via Zoom. The kick is deep and going into the end zone for a touchback. So Georgetown will begin this drive at their own 25-yard line. We want to thank all our sponsors tonight for helping make these broadcasts possible and to keep them free. There are so many high school football games that are being broadcast for a fee. You got to pay to watch them, but our sponsors have been so gracious in helping us bring these games and keep them so that you can watch your friends and family and former schools play football on YouTube, and we cannot thank our sponsors enough. So the Eagle offense comes back out to operate for his 2nd time at quarterback tonight. We have number 32, and I don't know who that is because I think he changed numbers. You got a different running back, too. At running back is number 20, Isaiah Justice. Isaiah takes the ball across the 30-yard line down to the 31-yard line.
This is when it gets fun on the sideline because you get to see some guys have the opportunity to make some plays that they may not normally have to make, and, you kind of get to be a good teammate.
Number 20, Isaiah Justice on the carry.
We're going to try to find out who the quarterback is. He's not listed on the roster. I'm pretty sure he changed numbers. Justice in the backfield. Again, takes the handoff, starts off to the left side. He's got some room around the edge. Crosses the 35, hurdles one tackler, gets up to about the 38-yard line, and now he's got his friends there to help. They packed a lunch and pushed that picnic up to the 40-yard line, so that's a first down. A borrow from Morrow. First down for your Georgetown Eagles. 8:58 left.
Fresh legs.
In the Minuteman Press 4th quarter.
Fresh legs coming at you.
Jaheim Dowd.
Jaheim Dowd is in at quarterback.
Sorry for the camera. I was trying to.
3 receivers to the right. Justice in the backfield, takes the handoff, starts off to the right,
cut
but cuts
back
back to the
there
left.
again.
Good cut back, and
Nice.
he has room. He's across midfield, across the 40, 35, 30, and gets pushed out of bounds at the 29-yard line. What a great run by Isaiah Justice.
They are nailing that cutback in the second half. O-line's getting good push, and you know, same Hallback Justice play's been there, and they're seeing it well, and turns into a foot race at that point.
Isaiah started off to the right, put that right foot on the ground, and just cut on a dime, takes the ball down to the Leander 27-yard line with 8 minutes and 8 seconds left in the Minuteman Press fourth quarter. Clock is running.
He's a fun running back to watch.
3 receivers out to the right. Dowd back in the backfield with Justice moving over to his left. Dowd takes a snap, hands the ball to Justice. He's looking for a hole and bounces it out to the right side. Meets some defenders there, crosses the 25-yard line, gets down to about the 24-yard line. That's going to bring up second down and about 6.
He probably had a little crease that he put the foot in the ground a little bit sooner to get in, but stayed in bounds, kept the clock running.
That borrow from Morrow first down run gains 3 yards, 4 yards, so it's 4 yards, so it's second and 6 for the Eagles now. 7:20 left in the Minuteman Press fourth quarter. I can't believe the band left. They were not watching Georgetown's band after the game. Dowd takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and keeps it. Starts up the middle and has a nice run. Gets the first down. Gets a borrow from Morrow first down in the Smoothie King red zone down to the 18-yard line. Clock stops to reset the change. Smoothie King at Wolf Ranch, blending goodness to fuel your greatness.
Now, I really want to see him run. However, that's our backup.
Located at the Wolf Ranch Town Center. Now go.
Sorry.
No, I was wondering if we were going to see Dowd pull one in just a minute, and sure enough.
Dowd's tall.
Yes, he is.
I have no idea how old he is, but tall kid.
That's an extra large pair of socks as well.
Right. Hands the ball off to Isaiah, and Isaiah does another cut back to the middle of the field, gets to the 10-yard line. 1 yard short of a first down. Clock continues to run, and for the Leander Lions, that clock cannot run fast enough.
Tell you what, the offensive line might have cramps in their legs because they are running 10, 12, 18 yards downfield every single time. It's been impressive to see.
I know I do.
How incredible is this to have a couple of these games where you get this big league and you get these backups in there and they get this great time on Friday Night Lights.
2 receivers to the right. Dowd takes a hand, fakes the handoff, keeps it, puts his foot on the ground,
corner.
jukes one guy, and takes it to the end zone.
Oh, give it to him.
Steps out of bounds at the 1 yard line. Dowd almost got his
Put
first
his head
touchdown.
down.
He's out at the 1 yard line. That stops the clock, but they're running a continuous clock now. So Georgetown's going to line up. Dowd in the backfield. Isaiah to his left. Fakes the handoff, and there's his touchdown. Just strolls into the end zone.
Good for him. Well earned.
Yes.
Nice drive there. Nice drive by the backups.
It was. That's what you want to see.
And you've got second, third teamers in there. So this is not Georgetown trying to run the score up. This is Georgetown just running their offense with the second, third team in there, trying to get them some quality snaps.
Taking the clock down every time.
And that brings us to the G-Town Lumber and Supply extra point. Noah Boris is paying attention this time. Gets out on the field in time. Aaron Guzman in for the kick. Snap is back, kick is up, and it is good. So that brings the score to 70 for your Eagles. 16 for the Lions. Jaheim Dowd is a sophomore and was actually a corner until his JV season. QB broke his collarbone. They moved him to quarterback and moved him up from JV because of the injury to Tucker Griffin. So who sent that? I don't know.
Not sure. I'm guessing it came from the coach's box.
Yeah, so somebody sent us that information, so we appreciate that information. It's good to see Jaheim in there getting some quality time, quality snaps, and future looks bright.
Absolutely.
What grade is he?
Sophomore.
Oh, wow.
So 5:12 left in the Minuteman Press fourth quarter. Brings on another Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff.
Are you getting paid per mention for?
No, I wish I was. I'd quit my regular job if I was getting mentioned.
Right.
Yeah. So 2 weeks in a row, 70 points on the board.
Yeah, that'll help the
And,
average.
Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will. Hey, and we also want to give another shout-out to Holden Tuma, our statistician. Holden had some wisdom teeth extracted today, so he's not up here in the booth. But he is paying attention at home, so we can continue to pay him the high salary that we give him of $0.00 an hour to do that job. But we appreciate Holden. Holden, get better, man. We miss you, buddy, and thanks for the stats. Aaron Guzman on for the Syntex shirt and embroidery kickoff. 5 minutes left, continuous clock running.
Speaking of leg cramps.
Yeah. Line drive kick is fielded at the 7-yard line,
crease.
and there is another big hole in the middle. But great tackle there in the open field by number 29, and that is Seth Warren in on the tackle. So good open field tackle there by Warren. 4 minutes, 47 seconds left. Clock did stop on the change of possession, but it will start right back with the continuous clock. And there it is.
Seth is just a sophomore, so that's a good opportunity for him to get some reps, get some time, cover on special teams, and start somewhere. Get your first taste.
So the quarterback takes a snap, fakes the handoff, starts up to the right side, and is able to get across midfield into Eagle territory.
There's that sophomore.
And there is the sophomore quarterback for Leander, number 6, Logan Mitchell at quarterback. In the backfield with him is number 29, or is that 28?
It's not 28.
Oh, he keeps it again and fakes out a lot of people. Just stiff arm there. Gets across to about the 41-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. At this point, if somebody is not bleeding or heavily assaulted, leave the flag in your pocket and let this clock run.
You know, from a Leander perspective, I think this is a good opportunity to get Logan Mitchell some reps. You know, like I said, he played a little earlier, saw something they liked there, something to build off of, and again, find successes where you can and see if you can let him make some plays.
Well, absolutely, and okay, so Leander will take that all day, every day. You've got the new quarterback in there, Logan Mitchell. He's had a couple of snaps before, and you've got Tanner Christensen in the backfield as well, and Tanner is a senior, so he's getting some playing time. He's done all the work and deserves a little playing time, and he's getting some out there. So 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Christensen in the backfield as the running back. Snap is back, fakes the handoff again and keeps it. Starts off to the left side, pursued by some Eagle defenders. And there was a whiff on the tackle there.
Good
He's
spin move.
Able to get down to the 31-yard line.
He may have pulled his flag.
Yeah. Andrew Urban in on the tackle for the Eagles.
We can kind of see what the future of Leander might look like with their mobile quarterback.
Well, we'll be in the district with them at least one more year. 3 minutes, 10 seconds, and the clock running. The Eagles lead 70-16. Logan Mitchell in the backfield as the quarterback. There's another running back there with him. Hands it off. Yeah, he kept it and was tackled by a seam in the turf. Falls forward, gets to about the 30-yard line. That's going to bring up 2nd and 9. In the backfield with Mitchell is Isaac Escobedo. 2 minutes, 37 seconds left. Clock continues to run. Leander taking their time. Everybody just ready for that clock to hit 0.
Imagine they want to get one more on the board if they can.
Snap goes back, quick throw out to the right side. Receiver is able to get down to the 25-yard line. Good block out there by the other receiver to help him out and have some running room. Clock continues to run. About 2 minutes left in the Minuteman Press 4th quarter.
Dave, for a second there, I thought I was going to do the announcer's jinx again.
Nathanial Funk will be taking a leap from the press box here in just a couple of minutes. Voluntary or not, well, these windows don't open, so it's all good.
Not much to argue with in a game like this.
3rd and 4, 1:45 left. Clock continues to run. 3rd down and 4 for the Leander Lions. Pass attempt down deep.
Attaboy, go make a play. Did he get it?
What a great play by number 24, O.C. Presley. What a great job by O.C. to intercept the pass.
That was a heck of a little athletic play right there. He went up with the receiver, played it well.
Logan Mitchell's pass is picked off by O.C. Presley in the end zone, and I have stood next to O.C., and he makes me feel like a giant because he is not a big kid, but he just made
He got off the ground there. Yes, he did.
Very athletic play, so what a great play for Presley, and that's another slam dunk
I gotta think
into the turnover can.
best play in football right here. Victory formation.
Coach Nicky's trying to get him over there to slam dunk that ball.
Is that four turnovers forced by the defense tonight?
3 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery. Is that right?
That feels about right.
Jaheim back in at quarterback. Going to be another handoff. Ball carrier is wrapped up in the backfield. I think that was number 34, Mason Mays on the carry. Tackled for a loss. 1:20 left. Clock runs. And this game will soon draw to a close. 1, maybe 2 more snaps. And we will wrap this up. Folks, we appreciate you joining us on YouTube. Appreciate all our sponsors. At the end of the broadcast tonight, we will run a list of all our sponsors. Please, please, please use their services if you can. Snap goes back. Handoff again up the middle. Quick run across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. 48 seconds left in the game. Mason Mays gets another carry tonight. Mason's a senior. So one more play, and that will do it for this game. Just under 30 seconds left in the Minuteman Press fourth quarter.
2 hands on the football.
Another handoff right up the middle.
There you go.
Brings up 4th down, but I do not think we will see a kick. I think that's going to do it for tonight's game.
Line them up midfield. Shake a hand.
So that's going to do it for tonight's game. Your Georgetown Eagles are going to defeat the Leander Lions 70-16. And the clock hits 0, and that's our ball game. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back for the Fine Line GC post-game wrap-up in just a few minutes here on SHN Sports. Stick with us. We'll be right back to wrap it up from the GISD Athletic Complex.
Kickoffs this season are sponsored by Syntex Shirt and Embroidery. At Syntex Shirt and Embroidery, we offer a variety of unique custom clothing and gifts, as well as personalized embroidery for gifts, schools, fundraisers, businesses, and more. Stop by our shop at 1911 North Austin Avenue, Suite 103, and check out our in-stock spirit apparel, or check out our website at www.syntexshirt.com. Syntex Shirt and Embroidery is the official outfitter of the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagles broadcast team. The first quarter of tonight's game is sponsored by Fine Line General Contractor. At Fine Line General Contractor, we are dedicated to meeting and exceeding our clients' expectations in Central Texas. Fine Line offers a wide variety of construction services, including budgeting, design assistance, scheduling, project management, and more. Fine Line General Contractor, committed to building excellence and relationships. Visit our website at finelinegc.com or call us at 512-590-8392.
We welcome you back to the SHN Sports Georgetown Eagle Fine Line GC post-game wrap-up. Your final tonight, Georgetown defeats Leander 70-16. And, boy, what a dominant performance by these Eagles. Nate, you were talking to the coaches earlier today, and they were thinking we're really close.
Yep.
Really close.
Some things they wanted to see. And you could tell, sense a little quiet confidence. I know, like you said, that they're close. And talking to Coach Nicky, he wanted to see better tackling, putting yourselves in a position to make a play, and some turnovers. And obviously, clearly, you got that tonight. Tackling, maybe a few things you can work on, but turnovers were fantastic. Guys were in position. you know, tackling will come. That's an effort deal. That's a hats to the football deal. But you got to be pleased to give up 16 points and then offensively got everything you wanted in the first half. Exactly, you know, ran the ball well in the second half. You know, it's funny, the keys that we talked about ended up coming into play, maybe just not in the order you think.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at, and somebody in the chat on YouTube mentioned, going back to last game, that's 17 straight drives for the first team offense that resulted in a touchdown.
Wow.
That's impressive.
17.
That's impressive. That's hard to do on air.
Yeah.
You know, in practice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the coaches have to be proud. There's some things to clean up.
Absolutely.
Always. There's
Yep.
never a perfect game. But I tell you what, the defense came tonight and brought the wood, and the offense was just a well-oiled machine.
And you asked earlier, now you get to turn the page to the rivalry, you know, and see what you got there.
Yes,
and then obviously, you know, you definitely have a couple of really good football teams coming up. And you know, we didn't get to touch on this pregame, but I had the thought, you see Liberty Hill. It's a good kind of test and prep for what you're going to see in Glenn as well at the end of the year because, you know, similar systems. Liberty Hill's done it for so long. They do it so well. But you're going to see, you know, maybe a Liberty Hill light in Glenn with some athletes. So I think that's good prep, hopefully, to get ready for Glenn and down the stretch.
Yeah, Coach Griffin had told me earlier in the year that Glenn runs a kind of wing T offense like Liberty Hill, but they do more from shotgun formation than that. But I just don't think there's anybody in the state that runs it as effectively. But before that, the Crosstown Classic. Next Friday, the Georgetown Eagles and the Eastview Patriots, the rivalry renewed. Eastview will be the home team next week, so you'll see the Georgetown Eagles on the visitors' side. But, folks, this place is going to be packed, and it's going to be rocking.
You know, Coach Wall is still a good friend of mine, so it's you know, bittersweet may not be the right term, but it's a little bit surreal to see him over on that other sideline. And
if folks want a seat, I highly recommend that you come early because it gets a little – we will fill up that.
It gets tight over there for sure.
Side.
For sure.
It absolutely does.
Are we going to showcase the band or –
No, we're not going to be able to because we're going to have to wrap up and get out of here. And, folks, we apologize. We usually are able to show the band, but folks want to start shutting down the press box. So our apologies. It's nothing we control, but we're not going to be able to show the halftime tonight. We do have some final stats from Holden Tuma. He's not in bed yet, hasn't had his warm glass of milk, so he has given us the final stat lines. Noah Boris, 13 of 17, 268 yards, 5 touchdowns with a perfect QBR. Not a single college or NFL quarterback has a perfect QBR this year in back-to-back weeks. Bruce had five receptions, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns, all season highs for him. Drayden Dickman, 4 receptions, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. Marquise Dominguez, 2 receptions, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Andrew Petter, 5 carries, 51 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hoyerbeck had 11 carries, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Obina and Valenta both had sacks. Diaz had an interception. Faltasek had an interception. Presley had an interception. So an impressive night for your Eagles tonight.
And a fumble recovery, so it was 3 INTs and a fumble.
Yep, 4 turnovers for the defense tonight. And just a phenomenal job. Great job by this Eagle team tonight. It's exciting, and looking forward to the rivalry next week.
It was. Lots of plays in the stat book, 0 injuries. So that's a fantastic way to carry some momentum into the rivalry next week. And you know they'll be ready.
Yep.
You know, Georgetown really comes alive in the second half of the season. We're really playing our best football, and this takes me back to the good old days of 2012, you know, when most every game was a 70-to-something route. So it's always fun.
Sometimes frustratingly so from the coaching perspective, where you know some things to work out early, and then you're right, get hot late and carry a little momentum into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Don't have all the updated scores, but the last score that we have from College Station Pflugerville game, College Station's ahead of Pflugerville 30-0 in the fourth quarter there. Leander, Glenn Grizzlies are beating Eastview Patriots 31-21 with the last score update that we had there. And let me see what else we got.
How's Hendrickson with all those injuries?
Yeah, I don't have a.
Hopefully they had a bye week.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Well, A&M Consolidated is playing Hendrickson tonight, so they they are struggling. They had a lot of injuries. So the district at the top is tightening.
Yep, hold serve.
And starting to separate now. So it'll be interesting to see what holds next week.
Yep,
So
handle these middle stretch. You know, the coaches said these are handle your business games, and so far so good.
Folks, we appreciate you joining us here and staying with us through the Fine Line GC post-game wrap-up. We are in the JCT Memorial Broadcast booth brought to you by JMTs. JMTs provides custom apparel and promotional items to small business, schools, and no-profits. JMTs has the experience and confidence to take on any order. JMTs.com, and we are fortunate enough to have the Tonkins in the booth with us tonight. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for your support of our broadcast. And we are honored to pay tribute to JCT and wish all of the families well as they deal with that loss. But we will spend the season remembering JCT. Folks, I am Kelly DeVoll. Next to me, Nate Funk.
I appreciate it. This was fun. This was good to get back out, and no place I'd rather be.
I had a blast, man.
I did too. It was fun.
And it's always good to see.
Absolutely, survive in advance.
When my son was playing under your tutelage years ago, he loved playing for you. And
I appreciate that.
We developed the relationship that we have over those years, and I cherish that friendship and appreciate you helping us tonight.
Absolutely, it was my pleasure.
And being one of our sponsors. But, folks, that's Nathanial Funk, and we appreciate him. Doppler Dave England on the other microphone up here in the camera work tonight. Our producer, Jerry Ann Harmon, at the board, helping keep us in line and keeping us from getting in trouble too bad. Next week, Wally Harmon will be back. Wally, we miss you, buddy. We love you. Best luck in your tournament out there in Las Vegas. Hope you win it all. And we miss you, pal. Can't wait for you to get back. Folks, that's your ball game tonight. Georgetown wins 70-16 over the Leander Lions. Next week, we will have the Crosstown Classic.
There you go.
Georgetown Eagles versus the Eastview Patriots. 6:15 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. But before that, Wednesday evening, 6 o'clock at the Golden Rule at, what's the address? I forgot.
606?
606 South Church Street here in Georgetown. The Golden Rule will host the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. That is a great time. We have a blast down there. Great food, great atmosphere, great people. And we appreciate their support as well. So if you can, join us Wednesday night, 6 o'clock at the Golden Rule. And then we will be back Friday night. Again, 6:15 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff for the Crosstown Classic. Georgetown Eagles versus the Eastview Patriots. And we will see you then, folks. Folks, we appreciate you joining in tonight. And I'm going to steal Wally's line. Don't forget, it doesn't cost a dime to be kind. Thank you all. Good night. God bless. And we will see you next week.